any of this happen? Oh, right. God, I did what I always do. Well, I did what I often do on a Friday, which is, hey, man, you had ample opportunity to do this stuff on other days. Nah, we'll do it. We'll do it right before the live stream. It's been weighing on me. So I'm proud to state that the rolling giveaway cart is a absolute shining success, and I do not mean that with any kind of sarcasm or irony. It actually worked. I needed to wheel the cart out of the way so I could use the table saw, and it worked phenomenally. And then I took up more space under the bench. Let's see if we can do something stupid. There's a little cord for you. Let's see. So we'll do this. Can we simulate? What is this? 2 or 3? Is this 2? 2, 3. Okay, look, we're handheld. So all morning, I had ample opportunity to do this on other days, but there you go. Here's where all the crap is overflowing its bins, and now I love these bins. What can I say? And it turned out I had more space than I thought. I made enough room for 11 bins, and everything is just bins on bins on bins. And now this top one is empty because it used to be shoddily filled with the stuff for ring and pinion and whatnot. And now that's got its very own bin. So now I have a drawer, and I can fill that with God knows what. And more importantly, if you saw a moment ago, the batteries, these guys. So this is the semi-safe method I use to store my batteries. They used to be. Ooh, hold on. Yep, one of them in there is nearing the end of its service life. They used to be directly on the other side under the bench over here. The problem is the stuff over there is pressed right up against the wall, and the wall is just sheet metal that goes to the outdoors, and it gets kind of warm on that side in the morning when the sun is striking the building. So I was like, maybe we could get the batteries away from where the sun hits. And then those exact style of bins, I am up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 33, and then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I've got over 50 of that size bin now. That's helpful. And then I'm up to now about a dozen of this size. And everything's full. Everything's full. There's no room to put anything. You know how it is. Shouldn't the bag be zippered to be safe? I have heard that you want to leave the bag not fully zipped. Apparently because the pressure needs to get out. I'm just operating off of the foolhardy hope that, nothing bad could possibly happen, because I've never had a battery do anything untoward that wasn't on a charger. It has only happened on the charger. I've got something in my head, and I need to take care of it right now. That's why I said 30% of one thing, X percent, Again, I spent all morning doing that. 8 came out here to do this nonsense. am going to... Yes, I have the correct stuff. Yes. How do you go through so much servo tape? Well, honestly, it's pretty easy because I stick something down and then pry it off mere moments later. Oh, good. Oh, good. I was worried that a receiver might be buried, but it is not. No regrets on the steady on the steadies. These are so sharp. These are the sharpest thing. You want to talk about tempting the lipo gods? Here's the batteries that needs charged, just sitting in a bin on the bench, all mingling together. Is the antenna? Yes. These are. I mean, it could be a big part of it. Could be I will use a pair of flush cutters until there's until they are barely functional. And that is something that I have been guilty of for years. If it ain't broke, just keep using it until it is broke. Okay. The wind was blowing, and then the wind stopped and it got really quiet outside. My Lowe's delivery should be showing up. Oh yeah, there's a point of note. A video that isn't up yet. I mentioned in the video that I couldn't get a delivery from Lowe's to finish some of the projects I'm working on because when you would go to the Lowe's site, it would say home delivery not available. Like you couldn't schedule delivery for like anything. And I was like, is this a fuel thing? It's like what's going on? And then what I did is that I had a momentary flash of brilliance, and I said, I'm just going to put the stuff in my cart. And if you put the stuff in your cart, lo and behold, you can go schedule a delivery. Not just schedule a delivery, I ordered this stuff yesterday. It will be coming today. It's all a bunch of nonsense. That's how we operate. What am I missing? So I transferred all the bits over on my new to me truck refresh. I named him Deja Blue. Carbon rails cut half the weight, basically. We'll be releasing a video tonight. Nice. I think everybody makes a flush cutter. Klein makes an expensive one. Many companies make very expensive ones. And I am much more of a fan of ones that cost like $6. So it was a stretch for me to pay like $16 for these, because like I say, wow, I'll use them until they stop working. I will use them long after their serviceable life is over. Why are you moving those radios around for no reason? Continuity. Just continuity is all. I have Thursdays, right? Thursday is no Tiny Toy Cars Day, unless it isn't. Unless I decide that it is Tiny Toy Cars Day. And I worked on Tiny Toy Cars for like 10 hours yesterday, so. Are we going to get a video of the Gundam driver being done, or is the children building that for you? Oh, it's in a box right under my feet. It's somewhere around here. It's right here. Here's what I do. I assume, I make assumptions that people just have an automatic knowledge and fundamental understanding of the way things work. So ordinarily, I would be recording videos Saturday morning. I record regular content Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday. I do my Wheelin' Wednesday, as you all know, is filmed on Sundays. And I do my trailing nonsense Tuesday morning. That leaves Thursday for no toy car time. Are those nippers single-edged? They look like the ones used by plastic scale modelers. No, they are. Look how flat they come together, though. And I don't know what the little adjusty boy is. I don't know. They look great, though. So I'm not recording this Saturday because we're going to Anime Riverside. Add another one. And then 1 month later is, as many of you will be aware, Anime Expo LA. Oh, these look exactly the same. One is Glossier. Glossier is the servo. I don't like how Spectrum receivers, how everything is backwards. It's literally backwards. I don't like it. Nice and small, though. Yeah, let's throw a superfluous zip tie on there. The little screw stops you from mashing your blades together. How we doing? 2 days ago, I fell off of an 8-foot ladder, 3/4 of the way up, trimming a tree. Big chunk hit the ladder, and down I went. Feels like several ribs on the left side took the hit. So I'm in rough shape right now. If I remember correctly, the ladder is the most dangerous household, like more household accidents occur involving ladders than anything else. I have fallen off so many ladders in my time. I wouldn't even be able to keep track. The tallest was a full 16-foot extension ladder. I was 3 rungs from the top. I was sawzalling some rotten trim off the top of a chimney. Because as you know, if it's a new build, they don't build chimneys out of bricks. A chimney is a metal pipe inside of a wooden framework with chicken wire and stucco around the outside of it. And as I sawzalled through, I was holding on to the house with one hand and sawzalling with the other. And when I sawzalled it through, it was more rotten than had previously been thought. And when I cut that part off, the whole, like, I guess I could have just pried the whole trim off. The whole trim came off, and I was holding on to that part, and the ladder went like that. So I got to ride the ladder most of the way down. It was going down. It felt like falling in slow motion a little bit. And as I got near the ground, I cast the Sawzall away, and I did a perfect middle school barrel roll as I hit into the lawn, thankfully. If the ladder had fallen the other way, I would have gone into the concrete spot where they would park their RV. So it's good that I fell that way. And I rolled out of it. And I was wearing full bags because I'm at work. And they were all full of nails and screws and screwdrivers and everything. Everything flew out of my bags. Just everything flew out of my bags. And then because we were working on a customer's house, I had to crawl around on my hands and knees and try to find all of the nails and screws that had flown out of my bags. So, hey man, do you need a couple minutes to shake off falling off that ladder? No. Get over there and find all those screws and nails that you dropped. Job sites, baby. Nobody even asks if you're okay. Ladders and hot pockets, #1 home injuries. Yeah, so the guy I was working with laughed at me heartily because I fell off a ladder. He was like, ha ha, you fell off a ladder. The very next week, he was coming down off of a roof and the ladder did the old shot out from under him. And he went to try to grab the roof and like forearm onto the roof like that. And his forearms was like, hey, your body's too heavy. And then he just fell. So he only fell about 3 feet, but he fell onto a patio and it was hilarious. I was curled up on the ground laughing. So that's karma right there. Don't laugh at people when they fall off of ladders. Unless that person laughed at you when you fell off of a ladder, then you're free to laugh at the person for laughing at you for falling off of a ladder. Let's see how this do. Little trimmy? Little trimmy? Little trimmy. I do love some of the stupidity of, I see a 20 at the top. I have to assume, yes, Mr. Turner.
There's a Lowe's man here for you with the delivery. You need to tell him where to put it.
All right, well, read the comments.
What?
I have to go get the Lowe's.
I'm not reading the comments.
Read the comments.
What? Why me?
Because you're here.
What? I don't know what to do. Hello. Why is this thing still making a lot of noise? It's still moving. Oh, offspring. Okay, that's fair. Read out loud. I'm doing that. Your dad rocks. Yeah, he's alright. I am the painter. I am the youngest. A joke? I don't got any jokes. I'm not very funny. Burp for us? I don't got one in the chamber. We believe in your ability to read. Yeah, I know how to read. With this. Favorite story about your dad? There's none. No dad jokes? No, my dad should have the dad jokes.
Look, all you had to do was tell that guy between the gray car and the blue car.
Okay, I don't know where you want things. They tried to make me. They told me to burp. I don't just have one ready.
Oh, you don't? Are you sure?
I said my favorite RC rig. Any of the ones I painted.
Oh, I see how it is. Favoritism.
I like the mustard one.
Well, that makes sense. That's a good pick. The mustard one is a good pick. Yeah, that one's already gone. Have you ever run the Famonda chassis with the skull in the shock towers? I have to say that I have not. The mustard one. The mustard one is the one with the mustard on it. And look at the pickles. For those who don't remember, the pickles burning in the fire. And there's a little pickle demons. There's a little sad one on the back. I think this guy needs something done to him. Can't remember. Oh yeah, he does. He needs the 2200 3330 outer swapped in. He needs more KV. Those TRX 4 axles are slowing him down. Our ladders at work are so janky and barely held together, I hate using them, but we keep stored stuff on a loft. I feel like they'll break every time I get on. A bunch of people. Hey, thanks. Thank you. Oh, man. Man, am I looking forward to the coffee drink. I tell you what. I mean, the calorie increase is real, dude. I feel like now I'm getting, like, I mentioned this somewhere. I've been editing, like, I try not to, if I shoot 3 videos on a day, I try not to edit all 3 videos on that day, right? Like, I'll shoot 2 or 3 on Monday, or I'll shoot 2 on Monday, but I'll still have Wheelin' Wednesday left over from Sunday, because I try not to edit and shoot on the same days unless I have to. So usually on Tuesdays, as of late, we go to the Dutch Brothers and I get a coffee, because this last Tuesday, the kid went with me on the trailing excursion. We did the normal 4-mile loop, and then we went and dropped the package off. We dropped the Bushido off at the post office, and then we went to the Dutch Brothers, and I got a Kokomo, and the kid got some sort of froofy, bougie fruit drink, refresher. And then I sat and I nursed that coffee drink for like 4 hours while I edited. And we got back from that stuff at about 11 in the morning, and I finished editing just before 4. So I edited for 5 hours that day. And the coffee drink has been so good at getting me through. Has the youngest thought of making some cash with painting bodies, or they have not quite the grasp on needing money yet? Look and listen. Like, getting them to do it. They're working on one right now. As a matter of fact, they're working on Mr. Turner's body right now. And then next up, they're painting the bodies for the identical cousins. I don't think I'm going to have them do the body for the 1.5 that's going to Operation Charlie. I think I'm just going to do just a basic paint job on it. But this, I mean, they're setting the bar too high. Like, this came out so good. And again, that clear coat. Look how good that decal just. $7 for a bougie pink drink at Starbucks for my daughter kills my inner Gen X. Yeah, you know what I did though? She's right there, man. She'll tell you, you just gotta let it go. When I go to buy a tank of gas for the Subaru and it's like $90, I'm like, well, this is how we live now. Ooh, hold on, one second. I was seeing where he was putting my 20-foot rebars. We've never had that guy before. Yes, no giveaway today. I mean, there could be, but we're trying to keep it to a dull roar. We're trying not to do 3 giveaways a month. It's kind of the idea. The truck on the bench isn't a giveaway truck. No, it is not. I need to use my stethoscope, so I won't be able to hear anything for a minute. Okay. Oh! Mechanic stuff. $90 for a tank of petrol. How big is the tank? Well, this is California. It's $5.65 a gallon. 17-gallon tank. After watching your TRX4 tuning and SCX103 videos, I don't know which one to get. Which one you say is better for a first-timer? TRX4. I would still say TRX4 because you need to do less to get it going. The TRX4 is basically RTR. The Titan is not the best motor. The XL5HV is not the best ESC. The 2075X is not the best servo. But in terms of RTR, they kind of are the best. Like, You don't need to outright replace anything on a sport. You can just take a sport and go out and run it. And then it's an excellent platform to work with. Just run the 2075X till it burns up. If you swap out the radio, your 2075X might never burn out. Oh, and that was Jimbo with the 10. I got a creep body that I'm planning on doing. It'll be metallic blue with marble blue, silver, gold center part and a ton of masking. You lost me at ton of masking. I close my eyes and pretend I asked my dad for a $1.50 Coke at the Denny's in '92 and think of his answer. Yeah, I still, I operate like a forever poor. The new optic might be RTR. It's got a fusion in it. That helps. I believe that it actually, you know what? Sight unseen, without it in my hands, only having driven or built, what? What am I up to? Half a dozen optics? I would say that the new, hold on, I need 2 hands free for this one. New RTR will probably indeed be RTR. They put a Fusion 1800 in it. They didn't even bother to, put a Vanquish sticker on it. It's literally just an SE 1800. The VT1 and the VS1 are absolutely perfectly acceptable. That radio is not terrible. It's fine. One of the buttons is effectively useless. But as far as RTR radios go, it's not bad. And they got a little bit closer to getting it close. Yeah, it's still an optic, so it's still a trail truck. Yeah. As far as an optic fusion being an RTR rock crawler, well, no, the optic isn't a rock crawler no matter what color you paint it or what style of hat you put on it. It's not, when people are like, yeah, mine slays. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. It has the breakover of a skateboard. It has equal length, sprint and rear. The tires are not big enough. It should have been Portal from birth, but they leaned into trail buggy so heavily they couldn't put portals on it. They could have made it shorter. They could have made it smaller. They could have done a lot of things. Is a big body TRX4 rock crawler though? Not particularly. Of the TRX4s, the Sport is inarguably the best rock crawler of the group. Because those things are closer. Well, I mean, they can be a rock crawler. You could say that the Blazers and the Broncos and whatnots would classify as rock crawlers as anything from RC four-wheel drive can be in a rock crawler. Those Traxxas are going to be limited in performance, not because of deficiencies in the geometry or the parts, but in terms of the body weighs 2.5 pounds and it's going to hold you down. And it comes with foams that tend to be overly firm, but good tires. So, I mean, I just like to see things going in the right direction. Is the new Optic Fusion an axle? Yeah. In all the promotional imagery I've seen from Vanquish, it's literally just a Fusion SE 1800. Full black can, Hobby Wing label, absolutely no changes. It's just a Fusion SE 1800. If they threw in a card, a programming card, that'd be great. Know of any alternatives to adapt the Endura Micro Servo to the Micro Saver that comes with the LCXU dig unit? The Endura's spline is full size, but the Saver adapters are for smaller splines. Oh, I cleaned my mouse, and I shouldn't have. I should not. I ought to not have did that. It slides weird now. I was happier with it before. So you have a couple of choices. The easiest one is, I'm seeing if I can find it. Two companies make the little adapter guy. I think it's Yeah Racing. I keep clicking the wrong window. Yeah Racing makes one, which is basically just the little Oh, I can never remember the part number. Yeah, racing servo. Yeah, there we are. Okay. You got to buy 2 of them. And I think they do this because they assume that you're doing 10-3. So you need a dig servo and a 2-speed servo. But it's good to have 2 of them around. You know? Oh, hey, we're minus 250 on the day on affiliates. Somebody returned something. It's lovely. Yeah, minus 250. Sales minus 49.99. So if somebody wants to buy one of these would be great. Okay. Oh, that's right. Paste doesn't work. Paste. Okay. So that is a link to A-Main for the Yeah Racing SCX 10.3 aluminum 25-turn micro servo saver insert, which gets bad reviews from people because those people are idiots. No, effing idiots. It doesn't fit. Well, then you bought the wrong thing, didn't you? I've bought many of those, and they work just fine. They also upgraded the skid plate so you don't have to Dremel to install the Fusion 2300. Nice. If Vanke were to push Fusion SEs and all their RTRs going forward, do you think it'd change their position within the crawler section like a step above others, or is that not enough? It's not enough. They only make one quote-unquote rock crawler. They make an array of trail vehicles or multi-purpose vehicles. I wouldn't consider something like the Phoenix to exclusively be a rock crawler. You can do better, you know? I would put it in the VRD. And if they try, just think about it. They sell the stance for $500 with garbage in it. What are they going to sell the stance for if they put a Fusion in it? Right? It's still a better choice to buy a VRD carbon kit. And I maintain that unless you are completely averse to putting things together, buy an optic kit and build it from the kit, because while a 4.9-inch tire is a move in the right direction, it's still not big enough. 525 LPs, you're going to end up replacing those wheels and tires anyway. So the only real advancement that the new optic has over the old one is that it's got a Fusion in it. If they sold the Phoenix for $500, brushless for $500 though, thinking it's still compared to a TRX for scale and trail. Yeah. Well, are we talking OG Phoenix with a twin in it? Or are we talking new Phoenix that just has a straight VFD in it, which means Fordyce with a Phoenix body? My Sport is the only crawler. All the other TRX4s are more for the trail style entertainment. Yeah, I agree. Still got plastic wheels, hasn't it? Yeah. And I double down. I made a statement, something along the lines of, I gotta clear this model. If you were one of the people who bought a Trucks of Fortune and you got an optic, if it came with wheels, it came with 1.9s. And then 5 months later, they come out with the new RTR and it's on 2.2s, and it should have been 2.2s from the very beginning. Are we supposed to believe that the new Sparco livery, and I do like the look of it, are we supposed to believe that it was not in development 5 months ago? They weren't already working on this? We know how long logistics takes. If there are new plastics in it, we know that they had to be working on those new plastics some time ago. It's already on A-Main. So for those unaware, so this is the new RTR, and like I say, I like that Sparko livery. It looks good. Looks good. But other than that, it's an optic. It's an optic with a fusion in it. A couple batteries. There's a couple stickers. There it is out on a rock. I like the kind of minimalist gray look. And here's the problem with that. Here's the oh, it's not on here. You got to go to the actual Vanquish page to see the image. Oh, there he is. To see the image with the just full blown Hobbywing Fusion SE in it. It's got a 4.9-inch tire, and the 4.9-inch tire is not big enough. The thing has got a 337 millimeter wheelbase, 337, and initially shipped on a 475 1.9 tire, which is not nearly big enough. Like, it should have just come on 5 1/4s. It should have come on 2.2 LPs from the very beginning. Do you think it's worth $500? I'm not an optic guy, right? My choice of platform for trail rigs isn't an optic. Nice way to upgrade an existing optic. Would it look odd with a gray cage, though? I don't know. I think the gray panels might be too close to the gray cage. But I mean, it would look different. A blue cage would be amazing. That would be amazing on that. Those 5.1s are the smallest it should come with. Yeah. I mean, when I have rigs here that are in that like 340 plus range, say around 350. So yeah, another half an inch longer than an optic, but they all run 5.75s. Like, and several of them are portaled and are running 5.75s. If the rig is not going to give you breakover because it's the length of a skateboard, you got to get that breakover somewhere. So you're either going to end up putting boggers on it or 2252s. We didn't do 525 as it looked like balloon tires. The tires measure close to 5.1 with the foams. Which are those Toyos, right? Toyo Open Country RT Pros. I've never tested those. So I have no comment nor input on that tire. I mean, I understand the sacrifice for vanity, the sacrifice to vanity, but it's just THPS Tony Hawk's Pro Scaler. It's not my thing. At $500, I would definitely rather buy a classic at $400 and then put the money into it. If you like the optic, if the optic is your thing, then I think 500 is, well, I think 500 kills. But there's a lot of things that are 500 or more now. So is it unfairly priced? No, I wouldn't say so. I think there are many things out there that are unfairly priced. We're going to need some endpoints. So, I mean, I usually like the balloon tire look personally. Yeah, it's a buggy. Like, I wouldn't have any problem with the tires being 10, 15 millimeters wider than they are now. And now there's a shortage of Fusion SE 1800s. Luckily, I have a couple in reserve. Luckily, I don't have much to do on this thing. That's whoa. So long as it has the decent ring and pinions and the shocks are okay, it's not too bad a value. The shocks should have the new seals. I see the gray plastics. And what was the other one? I haven't seen, they tried the Centered ring and pinion. What was that? Fordyce launched with centered ring and pinion. That experiment didn't last very long, thankfully. Or was it original optic? I know there was a Vanquish. There was at least one Vanquish that came with the centered ring and pinion. And did Gumby start life as an optic or just the cage? Just the cage. The only part of it that's optic is the cage. That's crazy. Stay right there. This is how we see. This is how we do all. This is how we do all manner of damage. Fordyce had centered as standard. Yeah, I knew I was thinking of one of them, and I know people were just turning them into grenades. You don't want to center those helical gears. Straight cuts like TRX4 can get away with it. And obviously they do. What's with all the high trails being out of stock? Oh, this is that time of year where Traxxas will be pulling down the old stuff to make room for the new stuff. It's actually a little bit late. It's about a month later in the year. Could have been shipping, could have been whatever. But yeah, about this time every year, all of the Traxxas stuff will evaporate and be replaced with quote-unquote new Traxxas stuff, though. What's the last new Traxxas thing that wasn't a TRX4M? Yeah, the cage for Gumby was sent in. Well, Traxxas has success with the centered gears because they make all their centered gears massive. They're just absolutely massive. Portal gears are huge. The ring and pinions are huge. And they do them. It's a machined pinion, but a centered ring. An updated TRX4 would be awesome. This is the thing. Traxxas would have to just start fresh. Like, I don't think the world is hungry for a TRX4 V2. We need something else. Did I miss your opinion on the new optic? Ultimately, if it's your thing, I think it's fair. I think $500, because $500 is indeed a price point. There's a lot of stuff operating around that price point. I'm genuinely TRX Max 6 scale. I'm amazed there isn't a giant TRX4 at this point. Traxxas loves, maybe more than they love any other thing, they just love making multiple sizes of things. Yeah, Betty Teresta is already in the can. I have no recollection of what day it is on, though. It's already uploaded. It's in there. It's waiting. And we'll probably be getting another Teresta episode. TRX4 needs some dang steering angle. The TRX4 is straighted steering angle for being built like a World War II tank. Think of any other portal box that has 10 screws in it to hold it together. And also, TRX4s are CVD everything. They put CVDs on everything, and they not just CVDs, but big, fat-necked CVDs, so they don't have nearly as much angle as others do. But I can tell you this, if you've got a Mias isokinetic, your chances of blowing up that isokinetic are significantly higher than they are of blowing up the CVD on a TRX4 or blowing up a drive shaft on a TRX4 because they're overbuilt and they're built for short travel. So it's not surprising. Also, think more in terms of I drive my truck on the trails and not up rocks, then that little bit of lack of steering angle. And don't forget, TRX4s originally started with the ability to unlock all the differentials. So if you don't have a ton of steering angle, but you can unlock your differentials, it kind of doesn't matter. So they just approached it from a different route. You know, a TRX frame would come with the Titan 775? Yeah. You can run a Fusion 8 and tons of power through their drivetrain and it will take it no problems. And is that all you got? Yeah. My Baja 1000 is drivetrain wise completely stock in the drivetrain. There's no upgrades, updates, or modifications. It's a fully stock from the stock Defender gearbox in it. My Sport took many, and I do mean many falls of 6+ feet, and many of them never broke anything on the axles. Yeah. Traxxas needs to ditch the glue on wheels for the crawlers and start making beadlocks. Right? Right? They're one of the only places that doesn't. Like, at least offer one. Some are a mix, a smattering of this and that. Some are beadlocks and some are not. There's an RC swap meet in Wayne, presumably New Jersey, tomorrow. I have 4 TRX4s, all for different purposes, and I have one built as a straight-up fast basher, and it can take a beating. Yeah. A beadlock from Traxxas would be pricey. Not as pricey as some of the insanity that we're seeing from the likes of J Concepts, Samix, others. You know. Also, I assume if Traxxas is going to unleash a beadlock upon us, it's going to be plastic. So they probably make their rims for $1. Oh, their glue-on rims are probably less than that. It's probably less than $1 for all 4 of them. They're just blow molded. There's nothing. There's nothing there. So I will more than likely get distracted multiple times. That's fine. That's fine. I don't want to get too much done. Let's put it that way. I've had a long week. And the hours of Anime Riverside are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's my whole day. Traxxas make beadlocks for the UDR and Max Slash, but they're still glued on tire to barrel. You're looking at $350 a set. Yeah, I mean, there are some things just maybe don't. There are other options. That ultimately the way I come to feel about it at the end of the day is we have options. We have a lot of options, and it's not like we can complain too much because some company doesn't make everything. If they don't make it, somebody else does. So it's absolutely fine. I'm not going to lose any sleep over the fact that Traxxas doesn't make a beadlock wheel, because plenty of places do. In all of the price levels that you could possibly want. Let's get a worn-off head on it. So it's absolutely fine. Nobody has to make everything. Think about it. OT6 makes one thing. You can't buy it most of the time. I just like to see a little bit of progression. I'd like to see Element pull themselves back out of the hole they've put themselves in the ground. I would like to see Horizon 500 for H10 versus Wish. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not a fair comparison. I said when OT6 announced the Wizard, I said out loud that thing was going to be the cost of what Reefs comically put their XP10 out at. I was like, this thing's going to be like $1,000 just based on what's on it. And then when they launched it at 500, I was like, there's no way they can do this. They can't do this. And they've shown that they can't, because coming out the second time, yeah, the $500 Wizard does come back. It won't come with wheels and tires. Yeah, it was way too good of a deal. That box from OT6 had like $1,200 worth of stuff in it, right? And they were selling it for $500. And like, we're not talking about some cheap axles. We're not talking about some knockoff axles. Like, this is not the axle that comes on something that costs $500. This is not the spur mount and all carbon. There are no molded parts on a Wizard. None. If it's aluminum, it's machined. Come on, we've shown the servo tray before. Did they need to do this? Did they need to machine this out of one piece? No. Every other manufacturer would have been 2 bars that go straight across. Screw, servo mount holes, like how a 10.3 is at the front. This doesn't weigh anything. It's like fully lightened. So my level of surprise that they won't be continuing forward with them at $500 is 0, or a number approaching 0. Yeah, same deal with the VRD. The VRD carbon kit is Vanquish's best deal, hands down. I mentioned it in the video with the wife's classic, that I was like, I think in the first one when we took them out, I said, this is like $900, almost $1,000. By the time you're done with it, it's almost $1,000. And that's the price. That's the price you pay. You know? I try to tell everyone, if you think you might be developing an interest in trailing and you want a vehicle to take out on the trails, and you are presumably a normal human being, go buy an FMS Camel Trophy, put a 1200 SE in it, change the steering servo if you want. It's not really going to matter. You can even take it out on the included wheels and tires, and they will function just fine. And then that's all you'll need to do to it. And it'll look good, and you can slap crap on the roof, and you can open up the interior and put a driver in it, and you'll just, you know what? You'll have a great time. And you'll have spent about $4.25. Meanwhile, if you want to build a classic, spend like $1,000. Do you really have enough spare Wizard parts to build one with just rails and skid? I had to buy an axle. I bought a front axle. I had to wait for this to come in stock at A-Main for like an eternity. And it does not have ring and pinion in it, but that's not really a bother for me. I also bought the knuckle weights while I was at it. I do not have drive shafts. I have one. I have the drive shaft to attach the FMM to the transfer case, because they're the parts that were taken off when I did the Cherry Bomb conversion on Wizard number 2. So I did indeed have most of what is required to build a Wizard. So I bought most of what's in front of you. I bought axle and weights. Weights aren't necessary, but I wanted them. I bought axle, weights, skid plate, and rails. So I spent 225, something like that. Just about 225. Miata is Faith. Yeah, yeah. Faith is Miata Commuter. So now that they're raising prices, which I think is fine, I wonder what delivery times in stock will be like. Well, it's OT6, isn't it? So it's never going to be prompt, nor particularly reliable, from my experience. Sometimes you're going to be waiting. It definitely is what it is. Their customer service is fair. But everything I've been able to figure, OT6 is not a lot of people. It is a small group of people. Did I run these? I don't think I need any of this. I just run the one. Oh yeah, I run the two, just like this. Okay. This is I'm cheating a lot. Because I have this sitting behind me. So that's gonna make things easier. I also got to just copy down the link measurements, which helped. So I don't expect to get incredibly far with this, but we'll get a little ways into it. We'll get a little ways into it. And I think I already had the. Nope. I got one like soldered up already. I think it was this one. They can make that wire longer. I've got a 120 on my other one. I might as well put a 120 on this one. Nope. Hey, there's that outer I was looking for. Yeah, all right. That one's all soldered together already. I don't want to put a Rhino in it. It is a direct power servo, though. So I can get away with the Rhino. That's a big motor. We'll chalk this up as mock-up. We're just mocking it up. At least we know everything will fit. How did I have to route those wires? Oh, ridiculous. Of course, ridiculous. It's all coming back to me now. I wonder if I can clear that. Oh, that might work. Could potentially work. I've heard that Techno is like 5 employees. Yeah. If anyone was wondering, an FCX10 K5 Blazer is 100% water submersible. Well, to be fair, anything is 100% submersible once. It's the what classifies a submarine as a submarine is the ability to come back up. Zimba with the 5. We're hitting it. The Sawtooth, y'all are keeping that Sawtooth alive. The Sawtooth is looking real sawtoothy right now. We'd kind of smoothed out the wave for a little while. Can we just call it the C2? I suppose. It's fair. I think I might have figured out a better way to run the wires than I did before. I think I just did. Huh. Look at that. That's not bad for an ape. That is not bad for an ape. Give me a pinion of what's stock on a Wizard? 10? says to himself, anticipating an answer. We'll go 11. We'll go 11. If I have to go up KV on this thing, that's absolutely fine. I will do that. As I said, this is just mock-up. Well, this wizard is going to be straight axle. This is straight axle wizard. I have a bunch of front portals. I don't have any rear portals. That's not even close to mesh, dude. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I'm just going to go through the drawers for links for this guy. Yeah, I ran my other guy. So he's got this, which is going to have to get undone. Because what I just discovered was, I think it won't even get in the way of the Panhard or the upper link. I think we're going to be okay. I just ran it like this. And it's going to go up just like that. Look at that. That's pretty clean. Slap this bad dog over here. Throw a little zip tie on there to hold those wires down. Bosh, done. Nice. You mean cherry bomb? I just ordered brass 10.5 for my front mullet and got owl. After listening to your gas prices, I said, I guess I should not complain about $57 to fill the Subaru. No. It's about $50 to fill the wife's hybrid. Which according to Toyota, if they are to be believed, has a 11.9 gallon gas tank, but I've never managed to get more than 9 in it. Mellencamp had a song called Cherry Bomb. I'm gonna admit, one of my dim memories of my mother is her near universal derision for John Cougar Mellencamp. 74, man, he's getting up there. I don't even remember what it was. I don't explicitly remember what it was. I just, I think Jack and Diane is the only Mellencamp song that comes to head. Yeah, Paper in the Fire and Cherry Bomb. Huh. Well, there you go. There you go. Never knew. Look at this. Look at this lazy cheater cheating lazily because he already removed all these parts from a wizard, so now he just has to put them back on and cheat by looking at the wizard that's already here. I thought it was a good choice to drop the Cougar. Oh yeah, he is just Mellencamp now, huh? Previously known as Johnny Cougar. That's terrible. I would not want to be known as Johnny Cougar. It seems incredibly made up. I don't know. Just maybe I was okay. Here's a hot take that no one's gonna like. I'm not. I assume it's generational, so don't come at me. You've heard me state that, in my opinion, and that is my opinion, you can't take it away. The Beatles are overrated. Honestly. Like, oh, yeah, these grandmothers. They basically started pop music. They birthed pop music. That is the legacy of the lads from Liverpool. Okay? And if you don't like Sabrina Carpenter, but you do like the Beatles, maybe you should start liking Sabrina Carpenter, man. It's the same stuff. In a similar vein, I didn't get into John Mellencamp. And the same thing, I didn't get into Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. I don't know. Bruce Springsteen, however you feel, well, I didn't really get into Billy Joel either. Is this a generational thing? I think it's a generational thing. I'm not saying anything negative about Bruce Springsteen or Billy Joel. I have heard multiple people say to me in direct words that being at a Bruce Springsteen concert was the greatest experience of their life. Absolute showman. And I'm like, they were like, he went for 3.5 hours. And I'm like, I could not sit through 3.5 hours of the music of Bruce Springsteen. I can think of Born in the USA. If I sat around long enough, I could probably think of another Bruce Springsteen song. But so I'm going to chalk it up to the generational thing. But it can't explicitly be that, right? Like, Pink Floyd is one of the greatest groups of all time. Like, I put Wish You Were Here over Dark Side of the Moon. I think Wish You Were Here is one of the greatest albums ever. Kiss is super overrated. Kiss was like a thing. Again, potential hot take. Kiss was like the Village People for a different crowd, right? It was like, it was showy, right? And that's what Kiss was. Kiss was a gimmick. Yeah, there you go. How do I feel about the Grateful Dead? I think I'm too young for the Grateful Dead. My mother is or was a Deadhead and followed the Grateful Dead around the country, that type of Deadhead. And I like some of the Grateful Dead songs. I don't own any Grateful Dead albums. I think I missed out on it. I think I was too late for the Dead. Like I would have listened to Fish, I guess. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl year after year. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way. Time has come. The song is over. I thought I had something more to say. Deadhead, that's just a normal day here. Yeah. Wish You Were Here was the first album I got when I bought a CD player. I bought it on vinyl. What was my most recent vinyl? It's still in the machine. Oh yeah, well. I mean, remember when bands made records? 16 Stone, man. Of the stuff that came out of the 90s, boy, is it tough to beat 16 Stone. Another one of those things that can't be, that's not going to happen again. I'm building a wizard. Building a wizard, isn't it? I remember you saying this once. I have tried to forget. From Helter Skelter yesterday, Revolution, I Want to Hold Your Hand are so different. That example, on pop, there is no ever. In modern pop, there is no evolution. There's still good music being made. What you have to do, and it's difficult. So this is a big ask. Asking people to cast off the rose-colored glasses. Music used to be better. No, it didn't. There just used to be less of it. And there was just as much crappy music back in the old days that there is now as a percentage of the music being made, right? There's what did they say? The comedian James Acaster had a thing where he only listened to music that was made in 1 year because he had this realization that there was so much music that he was never going to be able to hear all of it because thousands of albums are basically being released every day. You can't possibly listen to all of it. So it's all run by a machine. So we don't even know how much we're missing. And the radio, for better or worse, the radio is dead. So when new music comes along, I have to hear about it by accident. I'm a terrible music listener. I'm not out there actively seeking out new music that might be amazing. I'm listening to Ronnie Size Represents New Forms from 1995. And I'm trying to remind myself, to forget that song, that album came out 30 years ago. And then I lean back in my chair and I go, these kids today. And that's how it is. And if we're streaming, we're getting schemed too. Because they're all run by, Air One owns everything. So you're only going to get the top on the radio. And the streamer services are only going to get you what the licenses fetch more on. But yeah, here's what I wonder. I'm old enough, I guess, apparently, to where when I say generational, the sword's got two edges. I have tried. I don't understand Ghost. By extension, I don't understand Sleep Token either. People love it. They absolutely love it. And I don't get it. At no point in my life have I ever sat down and thought, "Oh, I'm going to listen to a Ghost song." Which should not be interpreted as any kind of a statement on the music of Ghost. Sleep Token is two genres in one. Are they two genres that I don't like? And that's the thing. I don't dislike it. I'm not going to jump up out of my chair and run across the room and change the station. Just a song will play and I'll go, that was interesting. What was that? And then I'll look at my play history and it'll say, that was Sleep Token. And I'll go, and then I'll forget about it and I'll just move on to something else. And I still feel like I can maintain the generic statement that I listen to everything. ABC, me and Mr. Hurley, we could not be in a car together. If me and Mr. Hurley had to, if we like in an Odd Couple buddy comedy sort of way, if they put the both of us in an old pickup truck and we had to drive across country, one of us is dying. Because he's going to put on country and I listen to ABC, which is anything but country. And based on what I've gleaned of the inner workings and the machinations of Mr. Hurley, he would not be able to physically withstand 80% of the music that I listen to. right? Like my most played station last month was On to Mike. My most played station this month will be Nero. But you know what's a great? I believe you both like ICP. Shaggy the Clown. No, I lost it. I lost it at ICP. I got so distracted by ICP. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Oh yeah. One of my favorite. Well, okay. I've gone into this before. There's country music, and then there's country music. Most of what is country music today is twangy pop. It's twangy pop, right? And I'm not a huge fan of pop music because I'm not in the demographic for it. So I don't listen to Sabrina Carpenter or Cat's Eye or the stuff my wife listens to because, she's a lady. Hayseed Dixie. Now, I'm not going to turn down. Well, no, we could survive. We could survive. Me and Mr. Hurley, we could turn on Hank Williams Sr. Yeah, we could turn on, Merle Haggard. Yeah. Where would you put? No, Lil Feat would be too jazzy. Yeah, we could find something that we could listen to, I think. Country and Western. Yeah. As long as it's not what classifies as modern country, which is the stuff that I'm not even going to say I've tried. I just can't do. Can't do, won't do. We're going to need a panhard at very least. I wrote this down. 95 millimeters eye to eye. 95 eye to eye, everybody. Let's build one. Let's build one in one try. How's that sound? I listen to both types of music, rock and roll. Hell yeah, brother. Kelsey's girlfriend. What was it last week? On their podcast, the brothers, they had Colin Jost and asked him about what it's like to be the less famous one. And he's all, it's great. He's all, people aren't intimidated by me, so they'll come up and talk to me. It's nice. He goes, because when Scarlett goes anywhere, they just, their eyes glaze over. And Travis is all, yeah, I can relate to that. Marty Stewart is probably my favorite country musician. There you go. I don't know who that is. That's awesome. I didn't grow up listening to country. I think that's what's simple about it. I could identify more songs from Count Basie or Glenn Miller or guys like that. 60. So I think country comes along organically. But at the same time, what I am not is a piece of crap. So if somebody is playing country, even if it's new country, I'm not going to be like, turn off that crap. I don't care. I don't care. Give me some old school Prodigy and Pendulum any day. Hell yeah, brother. The last concert I attended live was Pendulum live at the Wiltern. Amazing. Amazing. My wife did not get it at all. It was amazing. I feel old. The other day I put on Classic Rock Channel and Guns N' Roses and Metallica was on there. Did I not rant about this in a live stream? Did I not rant about this? I should have. Did I not? I feel like I did. I'm going to repeat myself. I was taking my wife's car to buy gas. I don't bother to plug in the iPod or sync my phone or do any of that stuff because the Costco is 3/4 of a mile away. It takes 3 minutes to drive there. You're there getting gas for 2 minutes. It takes 4 minutes to drive back because you have to wait for a light, right? So you're going to be gone for about 10 minutes. There's no point in turning on an iTunes or Pandora or anything like that, right? So I get in the car and I turn on the radio. I turn to 99.1, the pop station, it's all commercials. I turn to 96.7, which is the rock station, it's all commercials. I turn to 99.9 KOLA, 99 Cola, which is the oldies station, and they're playing Waterfalls by TLC. Yes, that song came out in 1995. That's 31 years ago. But you can't do that. TLC cannot be on the oldies station. That is untoward. The oldies station is reserved for the Big Bopper and Richie Valens and people that are dead. Can we make that? Can we make a rule? Can we make an unofficial rule that in order for your music to play on the oldies station, you have to be dead? Oldies should be 70s and before. See, we all agree, but that music is 50 years old. Well, I had said, oldies stations when I was growing up shouldn't have been playing Richie Valens because that music came out like 13, 14 years old. 13, 14 years before, right? They should have been playing Glenn Miller and his orchestra. They should have been playing Bob Crosby and the Bobcats. They should have been playing all the music that's in Fallout video games. But they weren't. We just all want oldies. What happened to the Beach Boys? Most of them are dead. Aren't they? Most of them are dead, aren't they? TLC on an oldies station is a hate crime. I don't disagree. Oldies is by years back, not by decade. Yeah, but look, at most, like, I can't. Look, I can't. You can't play Flock of Seagulls on the oldies station just because the music came out 40-some years ago. You can't play Haircut 100 on the oldies. That's crazy. Like, oldies need to stay, they need to be like smog check rules. What are the smog check rules? Is it 73? Like, if your vehicle is 73 or older, it doesn't need smog. Let's just do that for music. If it came out in X year or older, it's an oldie. But you can't have oldies. Boy George does not belong on the oldies station. It's jarring. Ask your kid about a 90s band, to them it's oldies. Well, it came out 10 years before they were born, right? So, by that logic, 75. 75 seems like a great cutoff year. Oldies should be the music that came out 10 years before you were born. That's fine. I don't have an issue with this. What I do have an issue with is TLC on the oldies station. 78 at the latest. Haircut 100 shouldn't be played at any time. I know I've definitely mentioned my feeling about music of the 80s, where in the 80s, I didn't really care for the musical acts of the 1980s. Like, I came to appreciate, like, Psychedelic Furs and Flock of Seagulls and stuff more later. 80s hair bands. I never really got into the 80s hair bands that much. And I'm trying to think of what I was listening to in its place. And you know what's funny? At that time in my life, at the 80s, Duran Duran. The first concert I ever saw was Duran Duran. Seven in the Ragged Tiger tour. I bought a t-shirt at the Orange Show Fairgrounds. That's a core memory. You just unlocked a core memory. Creed was playing on the classic rock station. That is crazy. Further, additional, that's unacceptable. Creed, classic rock. I cannot. I almost threw the bearings away. Don't worry about me. I'm a professional. And if you'll buy that, is the Coyote worth the price new? Better if you can put a coupon on it. But the Coyote is the best thing Axial has done in ages. Ages. I cruise around on my e-scooter blaring out 90s jungle and 2000s garage on a JBL speaker. Crazy to think that's like a dude in the 2000s blaring out disco everywhere. No, that is exactly correct. But you recognize it, so that makes it okay. The first concert I went to was the Baja Boys, right when they were big and playing at Country Park in Naples, Florida, probably 2002. The ones. Are those the Who Let the Dogs Out guys? Or is that the Baja Men? That means Limp Bizkit is classic rock. Yeah. Bananarama, Cruel, Cruel Summer. I'm a Bananarama over the Bangles person myself. Bon Jovi supported by Gloria Estefan. Wow. No, that is wild. I've taken a liking to The Who, Mongolian metal. Yeah. What's the song by Wham that Deadpool is always going on? Careless Whisper. Yeah. Saw an old guy wearing a Van Halen t-shirt and thought, poser. Man, then I thought, that tracks. Well, Linkin Park, I guess, could go on the classic rock station based on my initial of, are they dead? Not to be indelicate, but they don't pass the 78 rule. My first concert was at California Jam 2 at the Ontario Motor Speedway. Long gone, the OMS. Am I really that old now? Yeah. I got a concussion from one of the Linkin Park guys stage diving onto my head. Hard to think of that as classic, right? My first concert was Van Halen warming up for Black Sabbath, 78 in Philly. Yeah, I would have been a little too young to go to that. Wow. A lot of you are definitely not worried about showing your ages when you're like, I was at this show in 78. I think I might still have an unused Hot 6 gear. That's Boom Racing. What's this guy? No name. What's this guy? We'll go with this guy because he's pre-greasy. What's this guy? Vanquish. That one's pre-bearinged. We could put a Vanquish in there, I guess. So many one-hit wonders in the music industry. I would say most acts are one-hit wonders. It's the rarity is getting a career out of it. We feel like the 80s was the pinnacle for the one-hit wonder. But then if you really start going down that rabbit hole of one-hit wonders, you're like, oh my God, everybody only made one good song. Big 60 this year and hating everyone. I was still swimming in 78. ZZ Top Recycler Tour, not my favorite band, but tickets were $9. ZZ Top is great. ZZ Top is so good. You know why ZZ? Would you like to know why ZZ Top is as good as ZZ Top is? It's almost impossible to think of a trio of gentlemen so consistent, and some real ones too. Absolute real ones. I listen to all kinds of music, but my only concerts have been country. Hank Williams Jr., Clint Black, George Strait. That is country. ZZ Top, a pretty loud band for 3 pieces. Yeah. Not much change around here? No, not at all. No, it's the same. It's the same exact nonsense week after week. That's how we do it. The key is consistency. Just provide a consistent diet of nonsense to the peoples. This should go like this. That is going to need a shimmy. That is going to need a shimmy for sure. Nice big inner pinion bearing. Wouldn't have it any other way. I wonder. Ooh. These bearings are the same width. Three, 5. These look like 3 5s. Yeah, 346. So we're gonna have to shim. That's all right. It adds to the fun. Although, are we gonna have to shim? We can be. I don't know. Is this more lazy or less lazy? Wasn't the only guy in the band without a beard called Beard? Yeah, Frank Beard. Yeah, had no beard. Ooh, yeah. Is that a reverse? No. Oh, this is Boom Racing. Fancy. I'm in the process of building my TRX4 to your spec and having a blast with it. That's awesome. Everyone should have a TRX4. Everyone should have less of a drastic opinion about Traxxas. I find that people have too drastic of opinions about Traxxas. What a diversity of concerts I saw. Rick Ross and Lil Wayne, Killswitch Engaged, Avenged Sevenfold, Jelly Roll, and the Siberian Orchestra. Okay, I mean that covers it. I think you've seen it all. I'm thinking 2 shims. I'm thinking 1 shim. I'm going to go 1 shim coast side. I learned that from Mr. Hurley. I've never owned a vehicle with a live axle on it. So I know that the side with the ring is the drive gear, and I didn't know as the drive side, and I didn't know what the other side was called. He told me that it's called the coast side. So that's a thing that I learned, and not just learned, but have managed to store for use later, which is somehow even more rare. There is nothing on this axle that is thread locked. Oh man, those boom gears, they might be worth the money. That is so smooth. That's crazy. How much droop does Sheila have in her front suspension? If the shackles can go vertical, that will cause the springs to flip. It's not this, you know what, I looked at it. It's not the spring flipping. It's the fact that the bolts, because of the design of the BRX 90, the bolts that hold the leaf adapter down are the bolts that hold the deletes or the C-hubs on, right? So if those bolts come loose at all, which they're going to do, because let's think about it, all of the suspension force is driving it down on those two bolts. It's loosening them just enough to where the axle is rotating inside the hubs from the torque of trying to move her weight. So I think what I need to do is when I have her apart, I need to drill out those deletes and lock nut them from the bottom. Or put the bolt, lock nut them from the bottom. They basically need to be double secured. Otherwise, it's just going to keep happening. Yanni is super underrated. I can't even think of a Yanni. Traxxas lawyers were evil. Traxxas lawyers are no different from any other lawyers. All lawyers are evil. You should just say lawyers are evil. Can we talk self-discipline with respect to RC hobbyists? Anyone out here on a budget, or is everyone like me and just buying it in the moment you realize this is going to tank the build process? Adding anti-wrap bars might help. Yeah. What's the state of play with the reactor? It has 11 turns in it right now. And we have 3 bodies, 2 of which need customized body mounts in order to fit them. And while we were in the painting extravaganza that was also going on yesterday, I didn't have the time. To sort out the body for it. So it's still bodiless. It's sitting right over. Can I do this? It's right there. There's the rack. There's the rack of rigs. There's the tires. There's the... Oh, that's pretty good. So, okay. So, someone... I know they were just trying to be helpful. I bristled, nonetheless. Someone was trying to be helpful in the comments and tried to explain what a panhard bar is to me. And I'm not going to lie. I bristled at that a little bit. It's this. The problem is, and here's why I fall into my own pit of assumptions where I assume that everyone knows everything. Why has Bruce not just been fitted with a panhard bar? Because Bruce is fitted with fake F10Ts that were modified somewhat heavily to adapt it to leaf springs, meaning he has no link mounts, no panhard mount. He has none of that stuff on his axle. So I'm probably going to have to go off of a kingpin in order to attach a panhard bar. Oh, that's right. Did I remember? On the chassis, there is no panhard mount. So I have to, the part that used to have the panhard mount on it was cut away when the LRT2 gearbox went in. So Bruce is a very special case. It's going to be, I hope, it's going to be a lot easier to fix Sheila than it is going to be to fix Bruce. Would you make a video for tuning? Like once it's built, that last 5% is always the tricky part. Well, can you mount a panhard to the leaf mount and a frame rail bracket? Maybe. I got to see where the steering is. That's the whole thing. When we ditched the links and we went to Leafs, everything was fine until the torque and the weight of him started to drive everything apart. So there is no facility to mount anything. It will have to be custom built to fit. Is it fast enough with the 11 tooth? Yeah. With the 11 turn, I should say. Yeah. Fast enough for my purposes, at least. Because, I'm not going to be involved in any actual monster truck racing. It might not be fast enough for monster truck racing. I don't know how fast they go. but he's never going to have anything to race against that I can think of. I'm the only person I know that has one. I mean, like, here. Just go back to 4-link. It can't. LRT2 only fits with Leafs. So his transmission will only fit with Leaf Springs. That was kind of the part of the reason that he went to Leaf Springs to begin with. Also, the Leaf Springs, and also there's no link mounts on his axle. I'm sure a nice anti-wrap bar would stabilize it side to side as well. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Because anti-wrap bars, I can just mount to the leaf adapters and then to 2 random points on the chassis. But what I saw of the anti-wrap bar from the person who sent me the link on the Discord is that you can't have the one end of the bar rigidly mounted. It has to have a slidey bit, which makes sense. Because if it doesn't have a slidey bit, then it can't compress, I guess. I don't know. I've never mixed Lynx and Leafs. We own 3 Leaf-sprung vehicles, and they're all FGI 40s. Has too much slop at the spring mounts. It's not the spring mount. Well, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But the whole... He can just push his whole axle side to side. So no triangulation will not do anything. So it has to be crossways. It has to be perpendicular then. The A&M one slides at the axle end. Yeah. And I think I might know how to do that because you can get those cheap bumpers on Amazon where it's basically just a bar and it has 2 tabs with a hoop in it. And then I could just make the bars to do that. So one of them is going to need anti-wrap bars in order to stop her from trying to torque her front axle apart. And that would be Sheila. And one of them needs a panhard, and that would be Bruce. So I guess it's good that I have this apart. Got to put it back together anyway. Mount axle wrap bars to the axle. Jeep put a track bar on the 87 and 95 Wranglers for rollover safety improvement and actually puts the suspension in a bind because the track bar causes the axle to go up and down, in a sweep. Yeah. Yeah, it goes in an arc while the leafs go straight up and down. You need to work out the travel arc of the axle and find as close to the center point as possible for a non-sliding anti-wrap bar. I think I would just rather put a sliding anti-wrap bar because then I can fudge the lengths a little bit. I don't have to be as precise, and if I can be less precise, I will take that. I've come to this thing. It was the ceramic tiles, man. It was the tiles. Maybe you need 8 shackles and not just plates. I'm not gonna say. You know what? I would never say that that's not true. Because that could absolutely be true. Where are you at? There you go. Figure might as well get something done. It's just, how does everything fit together so well? How is everything so thoughtfully done? When is the last time that you saw a knuckle that had the little cutouts so that you can push like an Allen wrench through there and pop your bearings out? We just don't get that stuff. Do I see You're the Horse? You do. Do you? Yes. Yes. Where's the other half of the box? Who took the other? 39. This is SA75 Bum W, which is more than enough at 3S and a little ludicrous amount at 4S. 861 ounces on 4S. But this is a 1450, you see. You see, this is a 1450. So I can absolutely get away with 4S on this, should I decide to put 4S through it. You could make a one-link A and use a traction bar that holds the axle like a panhard. I'm going to confess that I haven't looked at him from underneath. And when the wife said, so we're not driving these next week, I was like, no, we are not. I sent a link for that. What's that? Does complete kits for relief conversion? They might have some random worn off parts that would work. I'm hoping that I can fabricate something, because that's been the spirit of Bruce, is having to make stuff. The Leafs didn't fit anything except FMS. And short of drilling new holes, I mean, don't think I haven't thunk about just drilling new holes in the chassis and putting on quote unquote standard 120 millimeter long Leafs. One of these was sealed in a bag, and one of them is in a Ziploc bag. Just out 6 things, I guess. Someone was asking if there's some other knuckle they can run because of the cost of these, and I was like, I wish, my friend, I wish. But they are quite bespoke. And this bearing goes in at like a real definitive angle. It's not fun. Drill hole through the existing leaf and make a flat bar from that hole to the existing leaf mount on the axle. Drill hole through the existing leaf and make a flat bar from that hole. I'm a visual learner. I would have to see a picture of that to understand what you're trying to tell me to do. Did you get in on the RPP 50%? I went on their website, and it's so obnoxious to navigate that I will confess that I did not. I couldn't. It's one of those websites where you have to know specifically what you're there to get. And I was honestly just browsing, and I got bored of it fairly quickly. Also, I've definitely fallen into a pattern of buying stuff for later. Use a shock. Can you use one of those really skinny shocks as the track bar? I have a bunch of them. I do have a bunch of them. It feels weird brass on brass. Where's the other two? Ooh, I hope I can find the other two. I see one. I see. We're good. We're good. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. I'm cheating again. I'm just looking at existing parts. I guess that's not technically cheating. That's working smarter, right? That's what I'll tell myself. That's working smarter. It was another one of those Fridays where I was like, what am I going to do? What are we doing? And I was like, well, you've built nothing but giveaways, like multiple times in a row. Let's build something that we're not giving away. Because, to be frank, if you want a wizard, go through all the work, jump through all the hoops, and buy yourself one. May fortune be ever in your favor. So I bet you could just Google leaf spring suspension on off-road trucks and find some pictures of real-world examples. It would give you an idea what would work. Oh man, that feels good. That is good. That is good stuff. That is good stuff. That is a really, really heavy knuckle. At least you don't feel like you're getting robbed on the brass. It is really quite heavy. Look up YJ Wrangler. All right. Yeah, Panhard is not normal for Leafs. No. I am all too aware. But 16-pound RC car, ice cream was a bad idea. Ice cream is never a bad idea. You take that back. Ice cream is a good idea. I'm going to have a milkshake as soon as this thing's over. A milkshake with coffee in it. My kid told me I was crazy because when we go to the Dutch Brothers, I ordinarily get a caramelizer. But this last time we went, I said, I'm going to try a Kokomo, which is a coconut mocha. And the kid was horrified simply by the idea of a coconut mocha. You know what? I prefer it. It's not as sweet. And that is when I realized I was not just old, but actually physically dead. I got this perfectly inserted without putting thread lock on it. So, good job. Task failed successfully. This is just, there's no plastic on this axle, period. None. Everything's metal. Ice cream sucks? That's crazy. That's crazy. Look, the colorblind madman from Virginia has come with some hot takes in the past. That might be his hottest take yet. Mr. Hurley, get on an airplane. Fly to California. Mostly just I want to see you get the culture shock of coming to California. And I will take you to a gelato place in Newport Beach, California. Man, it's good. Real good. Ice cream sucks is crazy. But on the other hand, saying ice cream sucks kind of normalizes saying that you think that I think the Beatles are overrated. So you're just going more nukes. You know, it's more nukes. So I'm okay with it. Everybody's got an opinion. Everyone, or more accurately, everyone's entitled to be wrong. Now, if you really want to get people fired up, who said ice cream sucks? It was Mr. Hurley. It was the Purple Man. It was the Purple Man himself. Maybe he doesn't know what ice cream is. I don't know. Maybe he's only ever had substandard ice cream. I don't know. I don't know what his experiences have been. I don't know what level of abuses he's been subject to, but I feel like if someone says ice cream sucks, they've been subject to some level of abuses. I used to throw ice cream in the microwave to soften it when I was a kid. Well, that sounds like a Canadian thing. This is Southern California. By the time the ice cream makes it from the kitchen to where you're going to sit to eat it, it has already softened. Because, you know, it's cool today. It's only 72. I'm going to have to get used to reaching down there. 5 by 11. 10 by 11, 15. And then these are, maybe he went to the hospital, was promised ice cream after surgery, and they never gave it to him, and that's a trauma, and that's why he hates ice cream. That's as good of an origin story as any. 511-4. Oh, it's so nice to have a place to put things away. Oh, it's good. They're all just stacked on top of each other. If not ice cream, what does he add to milk to bring all the boys to his yard? That's fantastic. I am the one who bans people. I cannot be banned. I don't know. I don't know if he could ban himself. I imagine that the system has protocols to prevent that from happening. So I think he is correct in that he cannot ban himself. All right. Having a container with a lip on it was not a good choice. I should have thought better. The wizard trips me out a little bit because I was convinced that this thing had a longer wheelbase, but it's 313. Have you checked Bruce's mount points? Maybe they're just walled out. You know, I hadn't, and that's absolutely honestly possible. It could even be his the little barrels that attach everything together. I might just have to make new barrels. I would love that, honestly, because I could cut some brass barrels real easy. Let's see if he can do this. I'm trying not to fall into the pitfalls of assembling upside down itis. Hey. We might get a front end together. You can't say it won't happen. I've already told the kid this is a body they're going to have to paint. This is, of course, the lizard wizard. So I needed any excuse to put desert lizards on a wizard. Give the raccoon the ability to ban people. It'd be funny for a day, but he would also definitely ban everyone. Yeah. His mother used to feed him frozen Cool Whip and call it ice cream. I gotta say, man. Well, that doesn't look right at all. It is not. Because you grabbed the wrong link, didn't you? No, you didn't. Link Olympics, it comes for all of us. Link Olympics, you can't escape it. Link Olympics, 95 eye to eye. Link Olympics. Why are these chassis different? Why are these chassis different? Why are these chassis different? Someone Somebody get on the blower and explain to me why these chassis are different. I didn't do it wrong. I didn't do it wrong, guys. No, not left and right. No, I'm an idiot. Rescinded. They're not different. I am dumb. Luckily, it's correctable. I don't know what goes in that hole, but it's not this link. God, that axle's heavy now. I fixed it. I fixed it. I told myself the upper link goes in the second hole, right? I said it goes in the second hole, so I went 1, 2. Because on that chassis, I've not put this bracket on yet, so that hole was empty. But it does go in the second hole. It doesn't go in that one, it goes in that one. So there's nothing in that hole. I mounted the link to that hole. Because I'm trying to put this together with the memory of a person that has no memory. That looks perfectly correct now. Hey-oh, you've done a thing. They can't stop us. No matter how hard we try to stop ourselves. La-da-da-dee, la-da-da-da, la-da-da-dee. Oh. I'm building a wizard. I'm building a wizard. I bought some extra pieces to give me enough parts to put a wizard together out of it. So I'm building a straight axle wizard. And the objective is to put this sumo on it. The sumo. The objective is to put this sumo on it. And then after we've cut it and drilled it and done all of the sumo things, so it'll be a wizard under a sumo, then the kid who was here earlier is going to paint this guy on the hood because it's going to have these shocks on it. So it's a lizard wizard. And 2 of them are brand new. The lizard wizard. The motor will probably be changed. There's a decent chance the speed control is going to be changed. The electronics right now are kind of placeholders, but they'll do. They will do. Because if we go with that sort of a combo, we've got basically the same combo that's over here. It'll just be a non-mullet version of that. So, we'll see where we end up, you know. I need 2 links. I can't believe that I got it right. I got it right. Front lowers 115 eye to eye, if you please. 4mm rod ends short. 1, 2. Oh, these are kind of ground up. Let's get some that are a little less ground up, shall we? Not that it matters. They're going to get ground up anyway. And Mr. Hurley said he hates ice cream. Yeah, he did. No, not short wheels. The Sumo is 313. That works out because then I don't have to do anything special. I just copy the links that already exist. And I believe I wrote it down as 115 eye to eye, which should just be off the shelf, one hopes. That's an 80. That's an 80 straighty. Bosh. My last order to Jenny's was a couple bags of TRX4 links. But after a while of awesome paint jobs by the offspring, everyone will want to send things in for painting. I mean, you can try to negotiate a contract with the kid. They work faster than I do, but wait, there's more. I've been trying to teach them how to do the base work, how to put the base coats down, paint the silver on the inside, etc., etc. If we were 20 years ago, and you could still buy polycarbonate specific paint in more form factors than aerosol can, although I wonder how some of the stuff that does come in tubes. Do we dare speak the name of Proline paints? I wonder if the Proline paints would work being brushed on the inside. What's the longest wheelbase 4 tire that I have? The wife's Capra, I think. 365. Nope. Not even close. RoboKitty. I don't even know what RoboKitty's wheelbase is. I'm pretty sure it's over 400. It's got to be over 400. Let's see. Yeah. All right, longest wheelbase, 4 wheels. It's got to be this thing, right? $398, 400. So 15 and just a hair shy of 15 3/4. 15 and 11/16. Creatix Wicked works okay on like. Well, I don't want to hear okay. Hating on ice cream is insane. It is. On Wizard, GTS or Dravtex? We've got both. Mine is on GTS, but pretty much only because I found out you can buy hard anodized black GTS bodies. So I did that, and then I built these all up out of pieces, and then the other one is on Dravtex, and this one will be on Desert Lizards, mostly just to irritate the quote-unquote purists, because I think it's funny. I have no problem at all with Desert Lizards. They work great. Probably some of the most leak-free shocks that you can get, and once you've built them, you don't have to mess with them anymore. What new video game or Bugle Boy pants does the offspring want in exchange? I'll get him a chocolate malt at the ice cream shack, or maybe a penny comic book. All of a sudden, the raccoon has been transported back to, I'm guessing, the 1940s? I've not seen those black GTS bodies. Yeah, apparently they make the GTS bodies in like every color. You get green ones, red, blue, and then when I saw the black hard ano, I was like, well, it's kind of obvious that that's going to happen. I mean, probably not something that I would recommend for someone that doesn't have 8 sets of GTS on hand, which I do. I definitely should have put this little brace on a long time ago. You know, if I had, oh my God, if I had any confidence in it, I would put a Furatech 2-in-1 on here, but I don't. So, I'm just gonna. I'm trying to relate to the kids today. I don't know what they like. I don't know how whatever to offer. A 6-7 is. Help me. Where do the Ot 6 shucks go? One set is on one of the birds. They're not on Rainbird. I think they're on Terrence. And the other set is on something else. The Wizard Shocks definitely work. They definitely work. I wanted longer for... I wanted more travel on mine, and I wanted a longer shock on the other one. So sometimes we make choices just to tune them the way we like them. Yeah, 6-7 is amusing to them because it doesn't mean anything. That's why they like it. It doesn't mean anything. It's a statement of nothing. We get that, right? It's Winky. We get it. Also, Wizard, excellent platform to put lizards on because what's the fill status on these? These came in on something. I don't remember what these came in on, but these came in on something. These feel, you know what? These feel okay. We'll placeholder it like we do everything. Now, what I don't, we'll just steal some. Need more rod ends. My Mantis build, running Capra nylon straights, is eating 824 pinions. I am sure I am shimming mine correctly. Do you have enough wheel time on them to know if that's a thing? 824, as you can tell by looking at them, those teeth are really big. They are really big. And getting that mesh correct is difficult. Why do you need 824? Like, that's 20% OD. Like, what? Research Createx UVLS clears. It's their PS55 and also works as an additive to make paint stick to polycarbonate. Raccoon, I will bankroll $50 for the kid to do a paint job for you. Look. I'll tell you what. If you went to the kid, or if I went to the kid in your stead, and I said, someone wants to pay you $50 to paint a body, they would have it done tomorrow. 9mm shocks improved my truck. Had way too long ones. CG was terrible. Was it a Coyote? Because that's what the Coyote does. The Coyote should not be on hundreds. Not on any day of the week. I have a drawer called Lizard. No, I think I put them in the shock box. Oh, there's the rest of the lizard ends. Okay, so I'm going to need that box. I'm also going to need this box. I'm also going to need that one, which is already out here. And I am going to need 7, 16, 23. Should have a couple 23s in here. Nope, they need to be 22 flats, maybe? Nope, they need to be 24 flats. Wish I had more. If only I had an infinite number of bins. Can we get the scientists working on the infinity bins as soon as possible? I need an infinite number of bins. Can we get some slip space technology? Don't tell the kid, but I'd be willing to do 100 because I was so impressed, but we don't need to share that info. Yeah. Let's not share that. I'm running a nod and wanted to be up around the 30% mark for my... Well, just put an 830 back in it. Okay? Put an 830 back in it, and then put an OD3 in it. You're on straights. OD3 is much better for straights than a nod 2. A nod 2 is basically a portal box. You're choosing the hard way. I know I just need a bag of holding. Dang it. That's a good idea. You got this. You got this. Everything's gonna work out. Just everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right, y'all. We're gonna build them at the very least the front end of a wizard. Really need to see a raccoon. Well, the thing is, I give the kid full artistic carte blanche. They're allowed to do whatever they want, because I believe if you get an artist to do something for you, at most you should be like, I want something with blue in it, but then just let them go. Faith in the artist, So if you have something specific, you are paying money. So they've been given full carte blanche now because nobody's paying for these. I'm using the nod 2 for straight axles. Oh. I would switch the gearbox because you're going to keep eating those 824s. Getting them to mesh just right they always feel chunky. I've never had an 824 feel smooth. You can go as far as an 827 and kind of get away with it. But if you notice, the 833s kind of get smoother. 24 just might not be enough teeths. What do we think we're going to need? 40 looks too... Nah, they're probably 40s. Could be 35s. Could be 35s. Could be 40s. Could be 35s. Could also be 40s. Let's see what a 35 looks like. $35 a little short. $40 look a little long. Do I have 4 oxide regular cap full thread? Yes, I do. Just barely. We'll get it. Putting my money where my mouth is for the raccoon paint job. All right. I'll inform them. They've got commission work. It's at a good time too. If it was closer to Anime Expo, I'd be like, you're gonna be waiting a long while. Oh. How are we gonna do the body part? Like what is it on? What body is the paint job going on? That seems to be a pertinent question. Needs to be in the style of raccoon. Get some tanukis on there. Don't think if left to their own devices the kid wouldn't put a tanuki on it. Or Mario in a raccoon suit. Could go either way, really. Like, doing this is hard? Come on. You just throw... Ooh. A Resident Evil Nemesis raccoon. There's so many options. big Umbrella Corporation logo on it. Oh, man. The possibilities are endless. Mario from Super Mario in a raccoon suit in Raccoon City fighting a nemesis. It writes itself. I don't know. We've achieved a wizard. I'm not ruling out whole wizard. Minus, drive shafts and everything else. We ain't gonna make it move. We damn well might be able to make it whole. The Umbrella Corporation. I would basically tell the kid, I'd be like, just think, those would be my start cues. Just think raccoons and Resident Evil. Because Raccoon City is already there. I'm pretty sure they've played some Resident Evil. They play some sort of survival horror game with their bros. I don't know what it's about. I don't pretend to know. The kids today only play games for like a week. A T-virus infected raccoon. That's what I'm talking about. 3 millimeters, 13 millimeters, 16 and 3. Call it a 20. Call them 20s. We're about midway up. It's all loosey-goosey right now. We will figure it out as we go. Put it on a plague body. Horrible. Yeah, so he's got to tell us the body. I had to run underdrive, ring and pinion front and rear with Amazon knockoff deluxe portal trains with capper axles, even with the smallest pinion I could fit to keep it from stalling my secure setup on hard pull-ups. Then something is not right. You can go into the Escape 32 programming, and I wish that I could tell you off the top of my head, but my brain refuses to retain it. The man from Hyper informed me on how to set your speed control if it's doing stall while it's still in sign. He instructed me how to fix it, and I forgot it almost immediately. Jerry strikes me more as a rocket raccoon. That's the thing. There's so many raccoons out there. There's Rocket Raccoon. There's the Rocket City Trash Pandas. You could just do a Rocket City Trash Panda livery, which is also one of the top names for a baseball team ever. What is it? The Sod Puppies? It's another great one. Okay, something is amiss. Something is awry. My upper link. Did I not measure the lowers? I did not measure the lowers. They're about right. They're right at about 115. That sits up pretty close right there. Something is amiss. It's drooping really weird. I don't know what it is. I think it's just going past. Are these not 90s? Those are hundreds. Are there no springs in those? Hey, the Trash Panda Stadium is just down the road. So, Desert Lizard 90s are 100 millimeters long? Why? I guess I need to put the I need to spring them in droop so that they can only pull out to 90 and not 100. Yeah, this is too much. This is way too much flex. You can't run hundreds on this. Running hundreds on anything with 3-link front end, 3-link and panhard is tough. So we just reverse them. See if that corrects. So there's still the softs. That's the short ends on them too. It can't go down any shorter. How can it be the Lizard Wizard without Desert Lizards on it? Okay, with the springs flips for semi-droop, they're still 100. They still pull to 100. So they're going to act real weird. It's not terrible. I mean, the axle is definitely, that's like, right? We all agree that's way too much droop. That's way too much droop. It's also acting like I copied this. Okay, the pinion angle's not that far off. I think I wanted to compromise halfway between caster. That's so much caster. That that upper needs to be longer. Probably 3 millimeters longer. Yeah. Let's say 3 millimeters longer. This is an actual Helamon, a desert lizard. This is a wizard lizard that lives in the desert. Yeah, also these two shocks, again, we're just throwing everything together. What are the strongest replacement double cardan axle shafts for the standard Mias Capra portals? I buy the no-name, low-dollar, proper double cardans with the two barrels, and I've never broken one of them. What you have to do is you open up the bag, you disassemble them in their entirety. Use brake clean, use solvent, use whatever solvent you can to completely degrease them in their entirety. And then when you reassemble them, you need to put purple thread lock on the set screws that hold the cross pins in place. If the cross pins do not have flats on them, you can do it with a Dremel. They must have the flats. Otherwise, that pin will rotate, the pin will loosen itself out, and if you're using an all-aluminum Capra axle, when that pin comes out, everything goes kablam. But I use the ones that just look like this. We can go to 2 for this. I use the ones that look like that, right? With the 2 little barrels. See if I can rotate. And the trick is, you fully, maybe by the rear. There we go. You fully disassemble them. You degrease them, and then you get in there and you thread lock everything. You can kind of see the set screw down in there. These have never been serviced. Never. Once they're assembled, there you go. There's no double cardan for F10. No one's done it yet. There will be eventually. You run a censored outrunner, and I was wondering if it transcendentals better than a censored outrunner. I'm happy with my outrunner setups. I was wondering about your take. So I only own one. I have a singular hyper apex, and they fit me as capper portals. Yes, they'll fit any offset portal. I've actually cut them down and put them into AR-45 portals as well. Yeah, the only thing stopping you from putting them in an F10 is that Mia's nylon portals are center pumpkin. So you can't do the long side. Otherwise you could. Hyper Apex with a black jacket. And I'll tell you this. No matter what you've driven, no matter what the depth and breadth of your experience is, you will find nothing smoother than the system than an Apex with a black jacket. It feels otherworldly. Do you know that feeling when you're very, very low early, when you first tip into the throttle and you get that real slow, and then you get into what I call the transition, where it's moving out of sine and into regular, and every once in a while you can kind of find a little bit of there's like a hole. There's an optic nerve. There's a blind spot in the power band. That doesn't happen with the Apex and the Black Jacket. It feels like an amount of power begins to come on, and that amount of power never stops. It just goes, the power feels like it just keeps building all the way to the end. And you have this like micro fine control all the way through. It's really very good. It's also extraordinarily expensive. Oh, is there anything worse than the sneeze that just goes back down? AR-44s, you're just stuck with universals? Yep. I didn't do anything to the speed control. He sent me settings. The Hyper guy sent me a sheet with settings on it. I didn't do any of it. Yeah, these two shocks, this is why we're definitely in mock-up. See how this one can just collapse all the way? And this one can only collapse to there? We definitely have different springing situations inside the two shocks. All right, so we can go much higher. Can you take me higher? Let's go way higher. Let's go as higher as we can go. Let's just put some shock keys on it. Let's get full height. There will be a later day and a later time where I'll figure out how I'm going to put body mounts on this thing. I have an idea to use some of the pre-existing holes. See how much group this pulls out. This is why my strongest advice, would you say it's transcendental? Transmogrifying even. You come out different. Yeah, the hyper guy, if you ever run into that guy, if you're ever in an event, you run into that guy, just ask him to set your speed control up for you and tell him I sent you. You just need to open up your phone and he'll literally do it in like 5 seconds. I mean, the guy does build speed control, so I guess it shouldn't be too surprising that he does it in 5 seconds. Okay, now is that shock just not? Yeah, this isn't helping. Having unmatched shocks is not helping the setup process here. But I have well and truly done this to myself. And I know that it's wrong. And I'm going to sally forth. I'm going to keep moving. All desert lizards are 10 millimeters longer. That's what they list them at. Huh. Do they make an 80? They don't make anything shorter than a 90, do they? If they make one that they call an 80, I would just buy that and then save myself the work. And I only ordered red because, oh, you know, I'm going to look right now. Desert. I'm pretty sure they only go to a 90. Lizard. Because I would really prefer like gray one. Oh, they only have the grays in 100, 110, and 120. So does that mean the 120s are 130? 90, 100, 110, 120. Shame. The hyper stuff has been blowing up in the micro scene. A lot of people in me are running as ESCs can handle 6S. That'd be stupid in the 24th. Yeah. One of the ones that was here for the mini comp, the Hardline Killers mini comp, one of those was on 6S. Yeah, AMK does make the doubles. Yeah. Like I say, I go on Amazon and I order whatever is not on currently unavailable. That's how I navigate. Because more often than not, they are on currently unavailable. And then, do you have any idea? Would you like to know how many rear shafts I have? Because I've had to buy the combo and axle. Oh, and stubs, portal output stubs. Okay, that's half. 1.5. 2. See if that was enough. Could go more. G-Made has an internal sprung shock. Have you seen or tried? I've seen them, but I haven't tried them. Yeah, see, that's another situation where the S95 Pros, if they had an S85 Pro, I'd be all over it. That's perfect. That is perfect right there. So we might not end up on Desert Lizards. We might end up ruining the Lizard Wizard because these are too long. Now, I am not averse to trying an internal limiter. Look at how much I had to dial that out. We can just go to a different. We can change that link completely because we don't need a 60. Is that a 65? No, it is 63. Well, I'm not going to have that, am I? An Element 83 is exactly 60 millimeters on the shoulders. Yeah, and unfortunately, all of my 65s are just that, 65s. Can't find double cartons for AR-45Ps. They don't exist. But you can buy the ones for Capra and cut them down. All you need is a grinding wheel, edge belt sander, something. You just take out your existing universals, cut the new ones down to that length, and grind new flats on them. What I do is I use the existing flat and I grind in and then cut them to length. You don't have to actually cut that much off. It's far less than you would think. Yeah, and the beauty of the Capra ones is that they're so cheap. You don't mind cutting them. You're like, I'm just going to cut them. My tummy has got the grumblies. I'm going to make it significantly worse by pouring a coffee drink on top of it. I'll do 4S. 4S is not too many pixies for me, I don't think. 3S is the sweet spot. It's just that there are some servos, there are some things that are great on 4S. Like the Baja 1000 would not be nearly as entertaining. Oh, there are double cartons for AR-45Ps now? I think there are. I haven't had to buy any because I don't buy AR-45Ps anymore. Or ever. I'm done with them. Oh, 63. 62 and a half. So we'll do one of these. Let's see what that little half a twist gave us. 63 millimeters. 63 millimeters. We might have done it. We might have fixed it. Come on. You got it. There we go. Yeah, this guy really needs a 90 shock. And I know I've got some GTS. I've got some GTS that I took off of something that are already built. I've already got cups. Yeah. I just need to put springs on them. So 4S all the things. There are definitely some 4S or die people out there. People that that have never or will never own a Fusion because aside from the Elite and the 8, they can't 4S them. Where's my that made sense, right? I think that's a 16. I think that's a 16. That's most def a 16. Oh, look at that. So the panhard mount was moving because I hadn't bolted it down right. I do feel that unfortunately hundreds are going to be too long. I run my Secure 36 10BL 80 on 4S. Yeah. I'm running my first Holmes hobby motor in my Coyote, the Crawlmaster 2-in-1 2300. You ever use that motor? No. I've never heard a single report from anyone even suggesting that the Holmes 2-in-1 can generate drag brake. And I'm a big fan of drag brake. So maybe the masses are wrong. Maybe that is incorrectly reported. But when there was talk of it releasing, I was like, so like a Fusion, but shorter. And then the Elite came out, and like, I'm at Walmart to get my gonosyphilitis. Oh, he's got them all. He's got them all. Trust Mr. Hurley to go all Ash Ketchum on the venereal diseases. Just trying to catch them all. Just living that fast life, you know? I don't even know what that's like. Of course, the rears are very much wizardy. So they're 113 high clearance. So, do we go a little bit shorter? Nope. We go with these right here because these high clearance are 113, which means they spec'd the measurement off of something before it was bent. Now, the Wizard links are significantly higher clearance than what I've got, but that's fine. My buddy is not a fan of his Holmes 2-in-1. Oh, yeah. While you're at the Walgreens, Mr. Hurley, get some ice cream. Get like some Eskimo pies. I've said it. I didn't really understand. I didn't get the Elite when it was released. I like the Elite. I don't like paying $150, so I have very few of them. But I do like the Elite. It is very versatile. Adding that, you know what we're all waiting for? I assume that we're of like minds. We're all waiting for the Hobbywing Fusion Pro 2. That is 4S capable, a 4S capable Pro, not an Elite, just the Pro. I would also like, when they release the Pro V2, I would go for like a Pro V2 in something in the middle, like a 1500. Imagine how good a 4S capable Fusion Pro that's like a 1500 kV would be. 1500 kV, that 1500 kV range gets slept on. Some of my favorite outrunners are like the 1450, 1470s. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that a lot of the home stuff is overpriced compared to competitors on the market. They're a boutique though. So would we also agree that stuff like Reef servos and Reef's wheels are overpriced as well? They're boutique. They do not benefit from scale, the economy of scale. They don't get to benefit from that. So, you know, you're going to charge more because they don't make a bajillion of them. The question of whether or not it's worth it, well, no one can tell you if you think something is worth it or not. That's entirely up to you. You're now going to see how fast the rear end goes together. You have said the regular Fusion SE would be great as a 1500. Yeah. 4S SE? The 4SE? 1500? I think if it's upside down. And nobody told me. You're all right there. Nobody tells me. They're just like, let him put it on upside down. He'll learn from his mistakes or won't. Because these have such a gentle bend to them, I don't think I'm going to need a carrier. I might, but I don't think I will. I think this guy will just be he'll be a 3-shafter instead of a 4-shafter. I don't think we're going to need a carrier. Now, will he break over as well as his brethren? No. Did I hear a new Fusion Pro coming out? No, we wish. We wish. I was yelling it's upside down, but the screen didn't translate it. Dang it. It's probably because, like, see, it doesn't do the... How did that get turned off? I never turn on or off the thing. It's supposed to make the... It's supposed to make the little bubble with the thumbs up. One day it just stopped. It was like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. Rear uppers. And we have 3 holes to choose from. And the longest one is 138, and the shortest one is 126. That implies to me... I use math for this, guys. Try to keep up. That implies to me that we have 6 millimeters difference between each hole. 12 millimeters total. One might even manage to interpret. So, I can either use a high clearance or a straight. And if we go for the one in the middle, we need a 132 eye to eye. We'll see what that comes out as. That is a link of around 95. And if they're a little too long, that'll just kick up our pinion a little bit more. All I need to do is find 2. Should have known that the wizard wouldn't fight us. Walgreens ice cream, it all sucks no matter where I get it from. This guy that's drinking what coffee people would call swill is besmirching the glory that is ice cream. It's unacceptable. I'm surprised he's not just dissolving. I'm surprised he even brews it. I'm surprised he's not just pouring instant crystals, heating up Monster on the stove, microwave, and just pouring the Monster over the instant grounds. God, I hope I haven't given him any ideas. It all sucks. That's crazy. That's the hottest live stream take to date. Ice cream sucks. That's like if you meet somebody that tells you they don't like chocolate. Not that they're allergic to it or something, just that they don't like it. Like, you know what I don't like? Hazelnut. I've tried. I've tried. I did not grow up on hazelnut. I didn't have a single item with the trade brand Nutella in it until I was probably well into my 30s. So, like, hazelnut is not quite chocolate. Just give me chocolate. As the girls from Baby Metal would say, give me chocolate. Oh, now that's playing in my head right now at full volume. If I don't have ice cream before bed, I feel like I'm being punished for something. Every day? Okay, to spite Mr. Hurley, without dogpiling, to spite Mr. Hurley, what's your top two? What's your top two ice cream flavors? I'm going to go with the chocolate peanut butter swirl. It's so good. Now, it does vary wildly from manufacturer to manufacturer. I used to love Rocky Road, but now I can't have physical nuts of any kind. So no almonds, no peanuts, no any of that. So I lost Rocky Road. So I was doing Moose Tracks. Hey, Mr. Truitt just said Moose Tracks. And then I got a thing of Moose Tracks that had the giantest fudge swirl, to the point where I was like, I can't handle this. Yeah. Caramel, toffee, and chocolate. Butter pecan. Bang. I would say my second favorite is like coffee. Triple peanut butter swirl. You guys are weird for liking ice cream. You're the only guy, Mr. Hurley, you're the only guy present that doesn't like ice cream. We don't just like ice cream. People have multiple favorites when it comes to ice cream. Now, this might be unique to me, but I seriously doubt it. My take is that if there's ice cream on one side and gelato on the other, I'm taking the gelato 10 times out of 10. My favorite dessert of all desserts, everything considered, is tiramisu. So, like, everywhere I go, the people always know I'm going to eat the tiramisu. One of the best tiramisu I ever had was in a little cafeteria at the Huntington Library. Amazing. I think about it often. Because what is it? It's got egg in it, or it doesn't have egg in it, or it has more cream, or it has less of something. Whatever gelato is, whatever it is that makes gelato, it's good. Wait, I like a chocolate taco, but that's not ice cream. Okay, now I don't know where he's going. Isn't a Choco Taco ice cream? My favorite dessert is flan. Too wiggly. I'm not a custard guy, which is weird because I'm a gelato guy. Matcha. Ugh. It's made with milk, not cream, so it's smoother. That's what it is. chocolate tacos you get from the ice cream man going down your street. Less fat content in gelato, I believe. Yeah. Isn't it crazy that like gelato is the lower fat one and yet somehow it's amazing? The high fat is the better of everything, right? Might as well. Wait. Hold. No, we're good. A Choco Taco is basically a drumstick. Yeah. Cannoli are the best. Here's the problem with cannoli. Cannoli has the cake problem, which is you can get one that is really meh. Like not well, see, everybody missed your point because the Choco Taco is a thing. You were doing a bit, but you picked a topic from which to do your bit, which is a thing that exists. How close did we get? I think we're right in between. I think we might get Link Olympicked. I don't know. That's right close. The wife bought one of those ice cream makers. Oh man, I cannot. I should not be allowed in a building with an ice cream maker in it. Best chocolate ice cream, Trader Joe's. Damn, I'm gonna have to go to Trader Joe's today. The Trader Joe's is very close to the location where I buy my expensive milkshake. Jimbo is heading off to bed because he is far in the future from me. Where I am, the sun won't go down for another 5 hours. Anybody else just eat their ice cream from around the outside of the carton as it melts and gets creamy? That's a lot of ice cream. I have to exercise strict portion controls. That's a 2.5 Locknet that had piggybacked its way into the 3mm Locknets. I was like, man, that's not going on. Trader Joe's has got some of the best odd candy too. Somebody had mentioned a candy, and I went to Trader Joe's to get it, and they were like, yeah, that's not just seasonal, that's regional. We don't even get that here. And I was like, son of a... They let me way down that day, and on that day I was disappointed. Okay, those do not need to be whatever length I picked. Whatever length I picked, it needs to be a length shorter than that. But this whole thing gets to be pretty much taken apart. So, for mockery, that pinion angle is pretty close. It could be kicked back just an absolute hair, which would mean we would have to go half the distance, 3mm shorter. So like a proper 110 to go to the middle hole. That's 100. Yeah. Proper, that's a bent 100. So I don't think I'm going to need high clearance uppers, even with the drive shafts. I'm not even going to bother trying to put shocks on the back. There's no point. Oh, it was, oh, dang it. What candy was it, he said? It was something I'm allowed to eat. It was some sort of like brittle. It was like some kind of brittle. Chocolate chip cookie brittle or something. Probably they don't get it here. My favorite cake is ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. The wife might remember. I certainly don't. I don't remember things from yesterday. I don't remember what I'm doing right now. Let's be completely honest about it. What's happening? How should I know? Oh, you know what? We can't get around it. So high, can't get around. So low, can't get over it. See, that's allowed to be on the oldies station. Ready or not, here we come. Yeah, we have one Dairy Queen locally. Apparently, because Dairy Queen likes to get into franchise tussles with franchise owners. So we've had a couple Dairy Queens turn into like Highland Burger or Joe's Burger Shack. Being diabetic is hard. Yeah. When my wife lost gluten, she basically said, well, at least I didn't lose sugar. I think what we actually, it's funny. What is today? It's the day. It's Friday, May 29th. We had a discussion about what's the worst? What's the worst? We both agreed peanut allergy is the worst because you can just die. Hey, he hit Mo Trapper. That's a sniper shot right there. Mr. Hurley with the sniper shot. Peanut allergy, by far the worst. And then right after that, we put sugar. Can't have sugar? That's harsh. I'd rather die than not eat gluten. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the memory thing? Yeah. Song lyrics from the 1970s. But what I'm doing right now, I don't know. There's an interference pedal. There's a fuzz pedal installed in the zone between my short-term and long-term memory, where once it manages to muscle its way into long-term memory, man, it's in there. But boy, howdy, does it have to fight to make it into long-term. And I've tried all sorts of, like if I'm trying to remember something, no chance. It just falls out of my head, like my brain is wide open. I don't know how I remember anything. So I'm trying to go down swinging, So I figured out how to play Sudoku. So now I have a 65-day streak or whatever on daily Sudoku on the Discord. And I play my Wordle every morning. I play my Sudoku every evening. I try to think thoughts. It's not always working. Those front shocks are just crazy. Say if your brain is a muscle, you gotta exercise it. That's what I swear my grandmother used to say that on many an occasion. What is long-term memory? I don't remember. Okay, that one's too long. That one's the right length. That one's too long. It's all got to come apart anyway. After I drink my coffee drink, when I get home, I've got to go move all the stuff that got delivered earlier, so somebody doesn't steal my 2x4s. What matter to hold? It doesn't matter what hole you pick. street sweeper coming by on a Friday is crazy work. I used to know, but I can't remember. Yeah, New Boards of Canada. How crazy. Did anybody have New Boards of Canada in 2026 written down anywhere? My memories of Boards of Canada are like early 2000s. Early 2000s. I ordered that RC10 Memorial sale that I emailed you about. Oh, the BOGO? I know, man. Got that popping collars, throwing that money around, ordering 2x4s. 30 2x4s is like almost $120 for 30 2x4s. Yeah, it's too much droop. It's too much. It is. It is what it is. It's too much droop. Twelve's too long. It's gotta be 10s. I guess I could have just popped a screw out of the one that's in place right there, and I would have known. Now, if this thing can articulate, and not crang the drive shaft into the little back of the skid. Hey, MKRC with a 5. Look at that. Did I just build a wizard? I shouldn't be surprised. Wizard goes together quite easily. That one shock is just... I mean, these don't have any oil in them, so they're going to behave the way they behave. But this one right here has got some peculiarities. Hey, Steven Turner with another 5, hitting it with the 5. So, Mr. Bad Habits, what are your plans? Are you gonna take the straight axles from the Comp Fox? The straight axles from the Cattleman and put them on the Comp Fox, make a Cattle Fox, because that's how it should have come. They should have just made the Comp Fox straight axle. I don't know why they had to put those absolutely garbage portals on it, but they shouldn't have. If the Comp Fox had straight axles on it, I would have felt very differently about it. We just need something a little bit shorter. That's got holes in it. Ah, yes. Out of frame jangles. That's it, I think. That's a little short. I don't remember what the stock wizard rear spacer was. It's just a single hole back there? Yes. 72 there, but I made one narrower. I made mine at 66. So somewhere between 66 and 72 is where we want to be. That's a 70. That's a 62. That's way too short. 68. All right, I like that. It's all coming apart. I just tell myself that. It's all coming apart. Saving my pennies for a Bushido. You got me intrigued. Yeah, you can get the bits to make it skid forward on the cheap. Doing the skid, just don't go as skid forward as I did. Way too skid forward on that. I don't think this will need another brace. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I might just, because of my insane commitment to the notion of a lizard wizard, I think I'm willing to just run internal spacers inside the desert lizards so that I can turn them back into like 95s. They have too much travel as it is right now. Who knew that there was such a thing as too much travel? Here we are. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Almost forgot. I almost forgot the thing that I didn't mention. That's how you can keep anybody from knowing about it. So, I was sitting here looking at the parts. I know that we're X number of days away, and I wanted to get the paint job done. And while we were in the business of painting, waiting for it to get warm enough outside to paint, etc., I was tinkering away. And then the next thing I know, I had built it. So it's sort of in Ghost Ride configuration. And as we know, around these parts, Ghost Rides are mandatory. So in the grand spirit of just grabbing things and throwing them together, I've built 2 rigs in 2 days. I built that yesterday. With stuff that I'm basically okay with parting with. It was literally everything on hand. Everything was here. These are $10 bounty hunters that have been in the drawer waiting for something forever. I have 3 or 4 sets, so this will be one fewer set. C10 Chevy had been set aside for this sort of build. Yeah, J Concepts does something different for their overspray mask. You would think that the overspray mask had been peeled off, but that's with the mask on. You can see the little shreds of it. I don't understand how it's so clear. It makes it very easy to put your body posts on, though. So there was some stuff that came in from other folks. There was stuff taken off of rigs. This is proper class 1.5 stuff. This is kind of like Rusty's son turned out to be better at sports than he is, because he's the K10. The rear overhang is ridiculous. If only there was a way to seam back Lexan and have it look okay. Because the front, these are 393s. That front, that's not bad, right? That's good approach. The departure, on the other hand, good grief, I think is way back there. 393s on the carbon. I had to do so much to get these wheels on here. And then it is basically, this is now the 3rd one of these that I've built, but this is the first Portal version. These are some F10 Portal clones from something, it does what it does. GoTech 1850. This was the old skid, the old modified skid that was in Cheeto before I changed Cheeto to the lightweight Nod 2 for straights. This is the lightweight Nod 2 for portals, so I put it on portals. These are takeoff drive shafts from I think Economoo. Cut them down. The penultimate Furatech, the Lizard 10, and then it's VRD rails and some VRD plastics and that little headlight guy. And it went together surprisingly painlessly. Well, see, here's what we do around, and 80s. It's got 80s on it because on 90s it over articulated. It had way too much articulation, and I was like, it's going to make it hyper unstable. How many have been built for a particular body? I think we do. I think more rigs are built for bodies than aren't. I think. One moment. It sounds like the street sweeper vacuumed up a manhole cover. It's making a horrendous cacophony of noises out there. OG Rad did a short on my Jolly Green and it's hit over 1,000 likes. Nice. It does. It pinches. It pinches a little. That basically no one knows that I made that. I mean, it's on me. I went to Zoku and was like, "Hey, do you want to make these?" And then he took over and did all the hard work. But like, they should still be right here. There's prototype 1. Prototype 1 still under the bench. I'm not even associated with it. I'm not even. No one even knows. We offer ass makes a rig, axles, gearbox, etc., but it's the body. That had been my standpoint on the Phoenix forever. Forever. Despite the fact that it goes against my primary phrase is the rig is not the body is not the rig. But then we build things very specifically to bodies, so in many instances the body is indeed the rig. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for this. So this one is for the Operation 11 Charlie folks. That was why I swapped over that Spectrum, because this has a Spectrum in it. I found a DX3, I think. I have a DX3 and an SLT3, and I found this SR2100 in a drawer. And as soon as they linked to each other, as soon as the bind process was completed, I was like, well then, there we go. And because he's Portal, he's not quite as light as his other brethren. But he's the person. So we built Lloydberg, and then I built Cheeto, and now I built this, and all three of them are basically the same thing, built off of VRD rails with little lightweight gearboxes. My preference is strongly Mias nylon straights. Eddie had a body till he didn't. Eddie has a body again. It's halfway through paint. I'm going to have to use the heat gun to get the window masks off. Eddie is halfway through, over halfway through, I would say. Eddie has a bunch of his electronics that need fastened back down. Eddie's on the shields, on the dual stages, with the wheels. He's gonna be looking pretty mean, right? Baja RR. That is Spastics Olive Drab. We're going thematic. We're going for a whole theme. Now I don't know where I put his radio. Really, there it is. I literally don't know where I put Eddie's radio. Just walked off with it. Only difference between VRD and stance is carbon versus aluminum. Yes. Who has the newly painted Raptor body? Raptor. Who's got a raptor? I think I only have one raptor. Raptor? What raptor? Who's a raptor? Pins. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Operation Limit Charging. Did you find Bruce's missing battery? Yes, it was under the box for one of the hot RC radios that I had just unboxed. I ran his battery all the way down. I just charged it back today, and it was at 4%. Oh, I think this thing is too long. Am I too long? I mean, I think you need to have the T case. You need to have the T case unbolted in order to get this on. Yeah, you do. And you need a spacer on it as well. That's like 3 or 4 of these guys. We'll go 3. It really slaps around if you don't put the washers on it. I would try being lazy and only taking a couple screws out, but I'm going to have to take them all out. If you put a Raptor body on a Go Fast, would it be a Velociraptor? I think it'd just be a regular Raptor, because Raptors are fast anyway. A Raptor on a crawler is the weird one, because crawlers aren't fast, or aren't supposed to be. When was the last time Jake the Snake was run? Olympics, I guess. No, one of the cabs. Jake ran in cabs. What was that? Oh, God. How long ago was cabs? Since front axle and his Atlas bit the dust, the housing snapped in 2. Buy a new housing and rebuild, or what's the Canyon recommendation? Fitting any other axle to an FMS is a job. Most every other axle is going to be better. It's just how much work do you want to put into it? Because at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, an FMS axle for that platform is dirt cheap. I want to say an entire front axle. A full axle, not just like a housing, a full axle is like $40. So, I mean, kind of obvious decision is just put another FMS axle on it. Yep, I was right. 3 spacers. Well, that's nice. That's a nice. Go like this. Go like this. Go like that. Go like that. Give it a little twizzle. Give that a little rotate. It doesn't work. It's nothing attached to it. Gonna have to source Mias drive. Is Eddie still using the twin? Yes. I missed the competitions. I know they didn't get views, but I enjoyed them. I binged the whole Olympics and was sad when it ended. Well. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I've had this experience before where one pin will be like a fraction of a millimeter different. Yeah. Yeah. The coating on one was slightly thicker than the other. Yeah, I would happily do Olympics again, especially now that we have more technology. But nobody watched them. Nobody watched them. I mean, nobody watches the videos now. But this time of year, my view counts are all the way in the toilet. Well, I mean, Zoku didn't copy it. Like, I asked him to do it. So, because I had zero interest in getting involved in any element of distribution. I love how it just goes. So, if not for him, they wouldn't be at all. This is probably close enough to mock up. Because I just want to see if the drive shaft hits. That skid is Delrin. There's a little kicky bit here. Oh, the screws are in it. You know what? I'm not going to rule it out. I might be able to convince this thing to bend to my will. That's how we roll. Do Crawl Olympics, but don't take Wheelin' Wednesday away from us. Well, Wheelin' Wednesday now takes a tremendous amount of effort now, too. Yeah, he took my design and cut them, yeah. He designed all the 3D parts, all the 3D printed parts. I built the whole thing around the notion of just buying element stuff. Just buying off the shelf. Can't even rotate it by hand. The resistance is not futile. Resistance is significant. Oh, I forget how much torque is in that damn thing. Yeah. Single drive shaft it is. It just drops below. But if we do a little 3 millimeters longer on those uppers, I'm not subjecting you nor myself to a Link Olympics today. We did amazing on Link shenanigans today. Everything just went together. It's like the universe was just letting it happen. I think the comps just need smaller groupings. A field of 16 for top crawler would be awesome. An OEM comp where you had one from all the manufacturers. All right. If you're here right now, I think that definitely classifies you as a real one. Because this has been going. This idiot has been rambling for hours. Putting stuff together and just genuinely being an oaf. I need a shorter horn on that. It's not bad though. I may have been working on a little breakdown of vehicles by class. Class 1.5, what I would consider to be class 2. So guys like the Punks and the Zoku and Rainbird and the Wizards and the KKV1. I'm not ruling out the possibility of a competitive series of some nature. And if nothing else is an indication that I must like doing it, I don't think I don't remember that nobody watches it. Because if I do a series, it is definitely for the love of the game. Because it will not get the views to offset the labor involved in doing it. That is for sure. I couldn't find the correct end, and it was because the drive shafts had hybridized themselves. Towards, well, if nothing else, I feel like the process that was Olympics, I feel like I learned a lot. I learned a lot how to better structure it. You can't do, well, in the format that we were doing it before, it's very difficult to do more than 8 vehicles in one go. Just the logistics of it. Just the logistics of it. So I would most likely try to structure it such that I only have to do 4, 5, 6 at a time. I'm a real boy. Just out of nowhere. Oh. Trust me when I say more money has been spent based on time, based on involvement of time. Wheelin' Wednesday. Well, if you think about it, Wheelin' Wednesday is the only thing I do on the channel that is more than just me. Just me sitting on a bucket talking. So it gonna get expensive. So despite the fact that we've got multiple wizards and Zokus and everything else in here, okay, so that bell curve gets flattened out a little bit by the camels, of all things. The camels kind of actually help flatten the curve out, but the classics, as I mentioned, 900 plus a piece. The buggies are still probably in the 6 to 7 range. Forget the FJs. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's all do each other a favor and not even talk about how much the FJs have into them. It's not good for my state of mind. I think Charles is a real boy. He seems authentic. Yeah, I know. I need the thumbnail with some guy's hair being blown back. Who's the real winner? It's so-and-so versus blah-de-blah. Who comes out on top? I'm going to test something against something else it has no business being compared to. Who comes out on top? At last count, how many rigs did you have in Olympics? I want to say it was around 50. So it would probably be helpful to shrink that number down a little bit. Look at that. It didn't power up, but damn. Damn, if we didn't go to a place and get to a thing, that shock on that side is my Yeah, that drive shaft angle doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, a little too much. It's the droop. I think I can just limit the droop. I can just put, I'm no great fan of putting plastic space. Also, are there no springs in this guy? This guy can't collapse all the way. How's he collapsing all the way? I don't think there's any springs in that shock. Is it time to go full sus? Do we just go full sus and I stack 3 pistons on top of it and just don't run any springs? That's disgustingly smooth. I don't think there's any springs in this one. I think there's definitely springs in this one. Yeah, no one of those shocks feels like any one other shock. They all feel different. We're not going to bite anything. Well, this guy's going to be great. I wish I could have gotten a sumo on there, but let's be realistic. The fact that we made it this far is absolutely astonishing. Well, maybe not absolutely astonishing, seeing as we had cheat codes built in, and I would call this cheating. I already had one. I just built another one like the first one. You need to do a build series with a clickbaity titles and thumbnails as possible, and then name it clickbait. Oh, you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Wow. Where were all the people? Where were the people? I didn't know we were already in OT. Just rambling and jambling. I didn't even know. 337. More desert. See, I can just take all of the pistons and just pile them up on top of the pistons so that they can't extend down. Do you prefer flat skids or low CG? Well, I mean, low CG is kind of where it's at. I think an angled skid, provided that the angle isn't too severe, I think an angled skid will pretty much help you out all the time. Damn anvil. Damn anvil not coming down far enough. Yeah, I think when I start structuring them out for like competitions, it's mostly just so that I can drive some of the rigs that I haven't driven in a while. Oh, somebody asked if there was a place for the Voittech inserts. I think I saw that. Tuxedo Dan. Tuxedo Dan is getting them in his Boss Man. Because I was driving him, and during some of his more recent modifications, his inserts just smear over, to where like the tire is like that when he's on side hills. So I think those Voittechs will be, I think 2s and 3s will be perfect in him. The problem with that is that's going to leave me with 1s and 4s. Which means I get to get a hold of that guy and see if I can get some other rates. But I think the 2s and 3s will be pretty perfect. I'm looking at it, this guy, whatever, the Lizard Wizard, and I gotta stick with Desert Lizards, right? I gotta stick with Desert Lizards and just limit their... God, I'm an idiot. Just change the shock shafts. Just change them to shorter shafts. I'm just going to change them to shorter shafts. So that take them down to at 95s at most. And then they'll work. Because we just want to remove down travel. The rear down travel's not bad. These need to be 6 millimeters long, 3 millimeters longer. We need to reduce the length of the shock from 100 to at least 95, preferably 90s. This is probably going to be, if not these... If he's going to do a whole shootout, I'd be lying directly to your face if I tried to say that I hope I wasn't hoping that the Rock Claw is the tire for him, because we keep trying to find the one that this fits, and I haven't found it yet. We've got Rock Claws, we've got Geckos, we've got Reef Sabers, FYRs, 6-gear. We've got the KLRs. I've got a set of landmines. Anything over here at the end? I got Megs. I got Tusks. Yeah, I mean, we have too many. We have potentially too many options, and about half of them still have wheels in them. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to find out. We're going to find it out, and we're going to figure it out. That's what we're going to do. We'll all do it together. Anytime you say Rock Claws, I think Losi. I complain about the fact that Upgrade decided to call those tires Rock Claws when there's already a tire called the Rock Claw. There's anything. Rock Eagles. Anything. Rock Lobsters. You just put rock in front of it and then another word. Good to go. But no, they were like Rock Claw. Anywho. Geckos are the Lizard Wizard. Now see that actually, you know what? The Lizard Wizard with geckos on it, because they do have little geckos right on the sidewall. Geckos on the Lizard Wizard? Dang. Could be. Could well be. I got V2s and V1 KLRs. We got too many. Rock turds. Hell yeah. Rocktopus. Rocktopus is nice. Lizard fetus. Just put some little like 90s on here. Let's put this guy up on a block so he doesn't flat his foams. There you go. You could nerf it with rock lizards. The Lizard Wizard nerfed on rock lizards. All right. Well, that'll be coming up at some point. Oh, by the way, let me open up my my thing. Ooh, color change paint. Color change paint. Let me bring up, there's a members video. YouTube, in their divine wisdom, still makes it so that you cannot schedule member content. I don't know why. Nor will they just come out and say why they won't allow us to do it. So, we can't schedule member content. So, you know what? I might put the sides on. I can remember how they go. That won't go there. Does that go like that? I'd have to look at a picture to see how the little chassis sides are supposed to go on. I have no memory whatsoever. I have a bunch of these little pieces, though. I got to sort out body mounts. I got to do the whole thing. Anyway, member show. I'm going to click publish immediately when we turn this off. Because I filmed it a couple days ago and kept forgetting to set it to live. I think I filmed it like 4 days ago. So yeah, member show, a little short one. A little short run right after this. So, as Mr. Truitt says, have a great weekend, everybody. Watch all the things. Watch all the things. Do all the stuff. Thanks for coming along for the nonsense today. Everybody, this weekend, what you should do, go out and have some ice cream in Mr. Hurley's name. Raise a cone for Mr. Hurley and enjoy some ice cream and hope that he can feel it. Hope that he can feel the universe enjoying ice cream without him. I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Oh, wait. We can do it. We can do it. Turn off all the cameras. Turn off all the things. An ice cream in Mr. Hurley's honor. It ain't a day without a spin, is it? I will see you all real soon, everybody.